us first in. I don't know if you've watched this one yet from SNH Now.
Who's this? You an officer? There we go. Is he a police officer in that vehicle? Is he a rat? I have no idea. So we're on Main Street in Claremont. And I think the address is right here, to be honest. Yeah, there's another unit right here. So it looks like it's Dickerman. I think. What's up, man? So I wonder, in Department 3, so it's upstairs. Wonder if they left the cat open. What's that? Who's this in the car? Huh.
It looks like she has a 23.
Who are you? Who's this? You an officer? Are you a police officer? Huh. Interesting. So I hear crying and screaming inside.
Aren't we all crying and screaming inside?
Who's that in that vehicle? Who's that in that vehicle, Dickerman? Is he a police officer? Is he a police officer in that vehicle? Is he a rat? Is a rat along? You guys do that? And you haven't offered me yet? Really? You guys would take me? Oh man, can I do a live stream? Yeah? Probably not. Oh, come on. Ride along, huh? Where's he going? Where's he going? Where you going, Dickerman? Oh, maybe they pulled a fast one on me. Huh. Interesting.
Yep.
Huh. There we go. Yeah, he did pull a fast one, didn't he?
Sounds like he's out of breath.
Is that really safe putting her in there with him?
What are you doing here?
So you got a guy ride along.
Thanks for resubbing yesterday, Anna.
What the are you looking at?
I have no idea. Huh. I didn't know they were allowed to ride in there with the ride along, man. Yeah? I heard differently in the past, man, from other departments. I heard that wasn't really? Huh. I guess it gives him more huh. Ride along, he doesn't wear a vest? At all. You can't get out? Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, if there's like something crazy going on, right? But like, no, I know he's not gonna go upstairs and stuff. Yeah. So, huh? That's interesting. I really want to do a ride along with you guys. I wonder if the chief will. Yeah, I've done it before in the past, just not here. But I had to wear a vest. Yeah, and they let me get out of the vehicle, but obviously not on like certain calls. Littering. Yeah, right. No. Yeah, no, I never really see you guys with ride-alongs. That's why I was like, what the hell? Who is this guy? You know what I mean? For police. So is that what he's doing? No. He's just curious. He wants to know what's going on. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, we get like city council members.
They do it too? Really?
I want to see what it's like, especially on nights when you're sleeping.
Tell him to watch my channel, man. You'll get a lot more. Yeah. Who, me? Yeah, no, I do have some. I have some. Actually, in Manchester, somebody was putting them around, not mine. And they got arrested for putting them on town hall. Yeah. They were peeling stickers, But he went around pointing out to all the police how many stickers are on poles and everything else, so he got it dropped.
I got more stickers to report.
What's up, D News?
More stickers. I got more stickers to report.
Howdy.
I'm coming over to talk to you.
I need to get out of the road. I can come out and talk to you.
Sure, come talk to me. I got more stickers to report. You got stickers on your car. Are those authorized?
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that, man. I want to see, but I'm curious to see if he'd let me like live stream it. You know what I mean? Why not? I mean, it's all transparency at that point.
Yes.
either a ride along with like a live stream, or I could just do, you know, static. You know, if I just do static is just like recording, and then I could edit like personal information out.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Because I have to anyway. You know what I mean? So when they give me redactions and stuff on like my videos, like the CDs that they give me for like 911 calls, they redact them. I'm like, great, less work for me. It is. It is because they don't like it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll see what he says. I don't know. Yeah, if I do static though, I could edit anything out. You know. So, but I think it'll be good transparency, man. You know. All right. Maybe I'll do it with you. Why not? All right, man. Have a good one. That's Claremont PD. Sergeant Dickerman.
Okay, yeah, we can play some poker later. I may have a 1 o'clock coming in.
Reasonable there. Till the next one. Pressing H down.
She is getting better. She still has some pretty bad bruising on her face from she had a cellulitis swelling on her face. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate D News.
Why would that be?
Because this is a state place, you're not permitted to take video of your.
It's my constitutional right,
I
ma'am.
don't care what it is. Get your phone out of my face.
It's not in your face, ma'am.
Are you recording this?
Sir, calm down.
I will ask you to leave otherwise.
Sir, calm down. What's with your bad attitude, Jeff?
You just want to be a smart ass. NYPD, can we ask you why you're filming them?
Yeah, as soon as I get your names and badge numbers, I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys. Yeah.
Some identification from you?
Hey, what's up, guys? Long Island Audit here. Back again with another video. Today, we're at the New York State Department of Motor Vehicle here in Staten Island, New York. We're here today, as always, to peacefully exercise our First Amendment right to film in public and publicly accessible areas, to promote transparency and accountability within our government, and to ensure that our public servants recognize our rights and treat us with respect. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're just getting inside the Department of Motor Vehicles here. To our left, as soon as we walk in, we have a bunch of different applications here. Over here, we have DMV Service Center. Let's take a look in the main part of the Department of Motor Vehicles here. Pretty big size Department of Motor Vehicle. So over here we have testing and investigation. We have the administration over here. Excuse me, ma'am?
Can't take videos from there.
Why would that be?
Because this is a state place, you're not permitted to take videos.
Because this is a state facility. So apparently because this is a state facility. All right, well, I don't really understand why it would be not allowed. Richmond District Office information. Oh, hi, sir. How are you? Who are you?
I'm the office manager.
And your name?
Taking videos.
And your name?
You're taking videos.
Office manager. And your name is?
DMV. And why are you taking videos?
I'm asking your name, sir.
I'm asking you a question first.
No.
I told you who I am. Who are you?
No. You didn't tell me who you were.
Okay. Yes, I did.
No, you
I told
didn't.
you I was the office manager.
Okay, when your
Are you
name?
recording this?
And your name?
Are you recording this?
Sir, calm down.
I will ask you to leave otherwise.
Sir, calm down.
I'm fine. Why are you recording?
You seem to be
me?
agitated. Sir, who are you?
I am the office manager
And
of
your name,
DMV.
sir. And your name,
And
sir.
your name. And who are you from?
Sir, I don't have to answer that question.
Neither do I.
You're,
Okay, I'm
do you not work
asking
for the
you not
public?
to. No, I don't work for the public. I work for the state of New York.
The
Okay?
state of New York works for who?
Okay? The state of New York works for who?
The public.
Okay? Are you here for
Well, that's actually like 3 hours difference. Yeah, it's only 9:30 there. So you got 2 hours you got to wait still.
New York State resident.
So if you don't pay taxes, you don't. That doesn't make any sense, sir.
What you're doing here doesn't make
So
any sense.
if I can,
All right, I'm going to ask the
if I
police
can-
to have you removed.
well, you can ask the police anything you want.
Okay.
You can do whatever
Why
you
are you
want.
recording?
What is your name, sir?
Okay?
What is your name?
I don't have a name.
You don't have
What
a
is your
name.
name? What is your name? Why
It's
are
pretty
you
sad that you
recording?
don't have a name, sir.
Okay.
Sad that you
Are
don't
you
have a
here to
name.
help? Are you here to? Are we here to help you?
I would
Are
like
you
you to
here for
help. I
something?
would like you to help me with your name.
Okay.
I
My
would-
name is Jeff.
Jeff.
Okay.
There you
Now,
go.
What is your name?
Nice to meet you, Jeff. My
Now,
name
what
is
is-
Sean.
Okay, Sean. And who do you work for, Sean?
I work for myself, Jeff.
Okay,
I'm
you
not a
work
public
for
servant
yourself?
like you.
You're
No,
not a public servant.
No.
Okay. So you're self-employed.
that's correct,
So
Jeff.
why did you come into DMV?
Oh,
today?
that I don't want to discuss anything further with
You
you
don't want to
at
discuss
this time,
anything
Jeff.
further with me.
Yeah, at this
Okay.
time, Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks. Appreciate it. So I guess we have the security officers here. 1, 2, 3 over here surrounding me because Jeff wants to start a huge scene for no apparent reason. So they have these kiosks here, ladies and gentlemen. Back to our video. There's kiosks here for DMV service. All the DMV windows. Over here, typical DMV, right? Nothing new here. Office manager Jeff did not seem too happy with us exercising our constitutional rights.
So does that mean that that client is going to be coming in from California? Who's covering that transportation?
Which is definitely interesting. He came out of this office here, the administration office.
Let's figure this out.
I thought it was a valid question. Why not? I thought that's a valid question. There's a bunch of cameras in here, ma'am. There's a whole bunch. Not just mine. It's not in your face, ma'am. Why do people always say that I'm putting my camera in their face? I've never put my camera in someone's face a day in my life. That would be extremely rude and disrespectful. That's ridiculous.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Everything all right?
Hey, how are you, sir? Yeah, everything's great.
Just curious why you're filming.
Oh, you guys are law enforcement?
Yeah.
Can I get your name and badge numbers?
Can we, NYPD, can we ask you why you're filming?
Yeah, as soon as I get your names and badge numbers, I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys.
Sergeant Bello, 17.
Sergeant Bello? Sergeant Bello?
Duca, 36.
Sergeant? Sergeant Lou Duca. And your name and badge number, sir? Alisair? Alisair. Thank you. Yeah.
Some identification from you?
Oh, you didn't give me your identification, to be fair.
No, I gave you.
Sure, my name is Sean.
Sean.
Yeah, my name is Sean. I'm an independent journalist. I'm gathering some content for the story. I'm working on a story here at the DMV. So that's what I'm doing here. So.
All right, okay. Have a good day.
Thank you. You have a great day as well. Take care. You guys do me a favor, please, if you can. Just I don't want it to escalate the situation. So if you could explain to the office manager that I'm well within my rights to do what I'm doing. So that way he kind of escalated the situation before, and that's not what I'm here for. I'm here, as I just told you what I'm here for. I'm just here to take pictures and video, exercise my constitutional rights.
Did you let him
I don't
know
want
that
to.
when you spoke to him?
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't identify himself. Just like I told you guys, I wasn't going to talk to you unless you identify. I think it's, as a public servant, you should at least identify yourself, and then I know who you
Well,
are.
that's why we did.
Yeah, exactly, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's fair. And I told you who I was.
It's unusual to film yourself.
Oh yeah, no problem.
There's no one else.
In your
Yeah,
journalism,
profession. Yeah.
some places are a little more high security than others.
Oh yeah.
You know, get threats that other places do not get. So that, you know, it does raise like their level.
Yeah, that's fine. And like I said, I have no problem saying who I am. Oh yeah, I'm not taking any tests.
Don't film in there.
Yeah, I'm not taking any tests.
Just don't disrupt anybody else's daily activity. Okay?
Okay. There's a court side? Oh, the traffic court.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
there's no film.
Okay. No problem. In the courtrooms. Gotcha. No problem. Take care. Take care, Sergeant.
Take care.
Please watch the board for your number to be called. Applicants only. So this is the testing facility. Testing area over here. The written test room. So hopefully, office manager Jeff got a good education here today.
Why the hell is this guy an admin?
See if we could speak to him. You know, I'd love to have a good conversation with office manager Jeff because I'd like to explain to him. So those were NYPD sergeants, as you all saw. Thankfully, they didn't violate our constitutional rights here today. Because I would like for everyone to get an education, right? They need everyone here to get an education as far as this woman here.
Oh, okay. He lives
said
here.
that it was
That's weird. But
unlawful
he did his
to
detox
record
out there or something?
inside of the Department of Motor Vehicle. Excuse me, sir? Oh, I'm just... No, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm looking for Jeff. I'm looking for Jeff.
Looking for Jeff?
Yeah. It's not a private office, sir.
It is.
It's not.
Can't go behind it.
But am I going behind it?
Nah, but you filming it.
But
Can't do that.
why couldn't I do that?
People don't appreciate you filming everybody.
Jeff, nice to see you again.
Yeah,
Did
same here, Sean.
the officers educate you, Jeff?
No, they didn't educate you. Neither did you.
What?
Okay.
I mean, I think he did, right? What's with your bad attitude, Jeff?
You just want to be a smart ass.
No, I think that you are just trying to escalate the situation, Jeff.
No, not at all.
See, look, there you go. Create your own privacy in public. Wow. So I wanted to have a good conversation, like I just said with Jeff, and he didn't seem to.
See, exactly. Yeah, I know.
It's my constitutional right,
I
ma'am.
don't care what it is. Get your phone out of my face.
It's not in your face, ma'am. It's not in your face. You're causing a scene, ma'am.
No,
You're causing a scene. You need to calm down. There's no need for that. I mean, she keeps talking about me, so I'm going to answer her. No one's going to get rid of me, ma'am. What's wrong with these public servants? How they treat the members of the public. It's ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. They don't like the answer that they got from law enforcement. That's the problem. That is the issue. That's the issue here. They didn't like the answer. They wanted the law enforcement to remove me from the building. Ridiculous. All right, guys. So we are going to take another lap around the facility here, the Department of Motor Vehicle, and then we're going to be getting out of here. All right, guys. So we're just getting out of the New York State Department of Motor Vehicle here in Staten Island, New York. So that escalated quickly. Started off with the public servant who obviously did not understand our constitutional rights or the law, saying that it was unlawful to record inside of the Department of Motor Vehicle here. I asked her why, and she said that it's a state building, that it was prohibited. I don't know where these public servants that work in these various departments across the country get this information from, but state building means it's a public building and it's a constitutionally protected activity to gather news content, hold our government accountable, and promote transparency in our government.
Back to calling you
And then to top
Satan.
it all off, I understand.
Yeah,
that
there's a
your
nursing
attitude was so
email.
low because
I don't know why Teams isn't working for me. I'm
Office
trying to
manager
reply
Jeff,
to it, but it won't let me.
horrible, escalated the situation, wouldn't identify himself, threatened to have me removed from the building. Just horrible. There was no need to treat a member of the public that way, but now I understand, it comes from the top down. Office manager was horrible, escalated situation. At the very end, cursing, calling me an a-hole. There's no need for any of that. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to educate. I'm trying to promote transparency within our government, educate the public on our rights. That's all we're trying to do here today. But he wanted to escalate. Security guard says you can't record towards the office.
Yeah, I may have to reset the password, but then it'll reset on all the computers.
Where's your ID?
They don't know it.
Identify yourself to us. No. That's not
You
how
should
this
log
works.
in. I thought I
Identify
had
yourself
logged
to
it in
the
on all
public.
those computers. I
And if
don't know why
choose
it's not
to,
logged in
I
anymore.
will tell you who I am. but you're not going to get ID, and I'm not going to identify myself to you or tell you anything about what I'm doing here unless you identify yourself properly as a public servant. And to their credit, after a little bit of pushing, they did. But you know, this should be a lesson to everybody. When they say that I'm putting a camera in someone's face, that's a false statement. That is a blatant lie. No one's putting a camera in anyone's face. I've never done that since I've started auditing the government. Never once. Just pointing a camera in your direction and then you want to act like a tyrant or act like a selfish child or act, you know, in a way unbecoming of a public servant, that's your problem. You made yourself part of the story, not me. But anyways, guys, as always, let me know what you think about this one in the comment section below. Stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Long Island Audit. Peace.
Liberty Lockdown has a stream out in a couple of minutes. I'll probably jump in this. It's today, 15th, 1 p.m. Yes. Let's check them out on Odyssey too. So 2 minutes. Yeah, thank you. It's good. You do some of the best of thumbnails, Dirty Dog. I like how Rumble lets you put the whole thing into it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I had to crop it for YouTube and Twitch. So let's put it here for now.
Today's video is special. Today marks my 2-year anniversary since I picked up a camera and started this journey. On my 30th birthday, I decided it was time to go test my luck. So I grabbed my camera, called an Uber, and arrived at the steps of Adams County Sheriff, Colorado. Some would say diving straight into the hornet's nest solo for your first time can be very dangerous. But it was my birthday, and I can do what I want. Little did I know that my first video would go viral. I remember thinking to myself that I wanted to show the world that when I go out and audit, I would show that most cops are good. It's just a few bad apples. And oh damn son, I was wrong. 100 plus police departments, city halls, and many other government buildings later, and I found that an easy 95% of police don't even know jack shit about that oath that they swore. You know, that pesky oath that protects our freedoms, the very freedoms that many men and women fought and died for. 2 unlawful arrests with corruption, collusion, and cuckery. I was found guilty
Cuckery.
for exercising my First Amendment rights, filming inside a public building, and filming my neighbor's brutal arrest. But I don't bend over, and I won't back down. Do me dirty, and I'll teabag that ass. Together, we are strong. Together, we can win. Enjoy the video, nerds.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me, ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact, give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah.
Hello.
How are ya?
Doing good.
What can I do for ya?
No, nothing. Just getting some shots right now.
Shots of what?
Just everything here.
Everything?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a police station.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's why I'm here.
Do you have any questions?
Is everything Adams County just closed? Like I can't enter any lobby or anything, or what's up with that?
What do you need in the lobby for?
No, I want to check it out. That's the main thing.
For what?
Just check it out.
Kind of odd, right?
I don't think so. Hello. How are you? I'll get you on there too. Huh?
Recording people's personal information, is that what you're trying to get at?
Personal information?
Yeah, license plates, personal cars.
That's not my goal, bro.
But what is your goal?
Just to take pictures
of people's personal property and license plates?
No, anything I could see from a public spot.
Okay, so you're going in to record personal secure information?
No.
That's what you're doing. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, no. What do you mean? I'm just taking pictures.
Of people's personal cars, license plates?
No. I'm just taking pictures for here. And plus I can, yeah. But that's not what I was doing.
So you're recording people's personal information?
I never said that. You said that.
No, you are. That's what you just said. You can't.
I'm taking pictures of anything I can see from a public spot.
Okay.
That's it, man. You don't gotta be all creeped out at me or nothing. I know I'm kind of ugly, but
you creeped out? You feel like I'm creeping you out, or
no, the other way. Like I'm creeping you out. That's why you're out here.
Oh no, we have concerned citizens that work in parts of this building that are concerned about your actions.
Oh, taking pictures?
They are absolutely creeped out by what you're doing right now.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Well, they shouldn't be little babies.
I think he needed this to actually understand what it's really
Shouldn't be
like.
babies about it.
About
doing
you
nothing wrong.
Pictures of them.
No, walking anyone's fine. This is a restricted area right here. Not going past it. Nor will I. Huh?
Your thing is to record people?
Yeah, I like
Let's go
recording.
off that way, absolutely.
Okay. Not doing nothing wrong, man. And I'm not here for any ill intent.
It does seem like you are here for ill intent. That's
Taking
exactly
pictures
what
is
all
an ill
they're
intent, man.
concerned about. A secured area where people work.
Yeah, this is. I can go anywhere in the pub if this.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying you're asking why it appears to be creepy. I'm just explaining
Oh,
to you so you don't get it.
I'm not here to hurt you guys. Not here for anything.
Totally doesn't seem that way. Like that's what everybody's concerned about is you have.
Well, you guys
very
should
ill
educate them a little bit
I
that
don't,
anyone
actually,
can
I
come
don't know
here
why
and-
you're doing it.
I know.
Than
Well,
you want to give off that vibe. Like that is your intent is to give off that vibe.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not mad at you for it. That's how you get down. That's how you get down.
yeah.
And it feels like you have very ill intent, but nobody knows
no,
why.
man.
Then
No.
what are you? Why are you out here?
Just to take pictures. I'm working on a
In
story.
a secured area of.
Yeah, this is just part of it. I just got here, so I'm going to be doing everything here.
Female employees that was
And
walking
female
out your
employees.
door.
Oh well,
You thought
she
you were
needs to
taking
grow up
pictures
then.
of her.
No, that's what you
Right, to
did.
grow up
Again,
then,
you
man.
did take a recording of her. It's
So,
not having
I don't-
her grow up. That's
In
just
all
what you did.
honesty, I don't even know what female you're talking about.
The
in
one
all
who came and
honesty, I
complained
don't.
about this.
Oh, she didn't even talk to me. I have no
No,
idea.
she
who
didn't, because
is
again,
or
this is
anything, man.
creepy, as you
Oh,
said.
well.
According to her, it's creepy.
Oh, okay.
As you said,
Yeah.
creeped her out.
Okay.
Creeps out a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But again, I guess you have every intention of doing that. That's the whole purpose of this, or do you have another purpose?
I'm doing a story on everything, man.
What's
What
everything?
Oh, the whole property right here. So I'm gonna go around the building, do everything. I just looked at that, your statue up there. Just got some fine details on there. That girl's even crying if you haven't seen it. I don't know. I haven't.
You know who that is?
I have it on here. It's a sergeant. I don't know who it is, but it's. I'd have to go read it again. But yeah, that's just a sergeant. Huh?
You know what's going on in the world?
Yeah.
Right?
In this day and age.
Yeah, you almost hate discontent they have towards us.
Oh,
Do you think that the people that work here, right, especially us, the citizens that are aligned with us, are kind of concerned of what you're doing? Right? Does that not stand out as suspicious?
Well,
so
if it is suspicious,
how can we help
fine.
you?
Guys are here
And so you can move along your way.
Oh, I'm not going to move on my way. I'm going to get my everything for the story done, then I'll be out of your hair.
What's your story?
Well, I'm not going to tell you guys that right now. Maybe down the road, when I figure out how the publishing everything's going to work out, Yeah, you guys definitely. Oh, if I committed a crime?
No. Just the suspicious behavior that occurred here.
Is that
again the lady that was
or
creeped out? Again, the lady that was creeped out.
Yeah.
So we could have the right to just contact you, get your information, then we'll let you be on your way to do all your business.
I thought this was America, right?
He's had a couple encounters with this stupid pig.
The part that you're gonna just twist her around and try to get your story out.
No, I know my rights.
Just want your.
I didn't give my name. I didn't. I didn't give my name. You just said I'm not committing a crime. Therefore, I'm not getting ID.
Your suspicious behavior.
Is that a misdemeanor or felony?
ID that said you're out here recording.
Well, you guys aren't feeling police.
This might be. Are you stalking her?
Am I stalking? I don't even know what lady you're talking about, man.
Again, there's a lot of reasons why we have the ability to contact you right now.
Yeah.
And since nobody wants to pressure that.
No, you guys can contact me all you want. Do you
Again,
guys have that obligation? It would be smart.
And we do. And we'll, if you like the statute that says we can
I know the law. I
get
know
your
the law
information,
well.
that's all we're asking for. That's all we're asking for.
I know.
Is your ID,
but
so we can ID who you are.
There's one thing that you were missing.
Art, is there?
Yeah.
Right now.
And yes.
What's your name?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what you're missing.
Your name?
No, I'll tell you what you're missing.
Your name?
A crime.
Your name?
You have to have reasonable, articulatable suspicion.
I do.
That I have committed a crime.
Or might be.
Or am committing a
or
crime.
Might
or
be.
About to.
Correct. And that's where we're at.
So what crime is that?
I don't know. Stalking.
Exactly.
Stalking?
You gotta have that.
How's stalking? How's stalking?
Stalking. Yeah, that sounds
Harassment?
like you're fishing.
Harassment?
Sounds like you're fishing.
No, I just want your information so we can let you be on about your way.
Ambulatory means able to walk.
I'll give you my ID.
That'd be perfect. Thank you.
ID?
That's all we need. ID. That'd be great.
Okay, I'm gonna reach my pocket.
I appreciate
They
it.
walk to and from the detox, I
I
guess.
know you do. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much.
They're not inpatient.
Oh, you got the big ID right here. Big ID. Here you go.
Congratulations. Your story is great. You're doing a great job for your story. You're doing a great job for your story. You're doing an outstanding job. I know.
Okay.
I know. You're amazing.
Well, why are you guys out here bothering me?
Again, we got a call to contact you.
That's
from
perfectly
citizens
fair.
that would like to know exactly why you're recording them.
I'm doing a story. I don't know what citizen you're talking about. Are you talking about like the women up there?
You don't need to.
Well, I
the
have
ones that
to.
you're
That's
recording on
somebody
them
that
as well.
complained on me, so I need to know.
Again, oh, you don't need to know their name.
Well, then you don't need to know mine.
I absolutely do. You're
Well,
the one
you
committing
do.
the
You
suspicious
do.
behavior.
Is that a misdemeanor or a felony?
So, can we get your ID, please?
Absolutely not. Because I'm not committing a crime. I know my rights.
You could be committing a crime.
I could be, but am I?
Right. That's what we're investigating now. That's what
Dude,
we're
you're
investigating
fishing.
now.
You gotta try a little bit better.
That's what we're
I
investigating.
mean, I understand if I was out here, maybe if I went through a restricted area, I know it kind of sucks, but you guys got to know that.
You talk a lot.
Well, let me tell you a couple things. You guys are law enforcement, correct?
And you're here
Not
to
feeling
harass law enforcement as
No,
well
I'm
as
not.
anybody out here. No, that's how you get
Dude,
down, dude.
that's
That's how you get
ignorant.
down.
That's
Fucking
ignorant.
It's
repugnant,
impressive that you're trying to make your story. I got you.
Well, you
This
guys
is
are
the
out here on
police,
me.
and yes, we got called to you.
Recipe
It wasn't
for
like we came out
disaster,
here. We don't care.
but a mill.
Until somebody
They can keep
alone
recycling
says
them.
You don't
that
care.
You're creepy.
So, okay, let's take that.
Does
what
that.
you just
So
Hold on,
Somebody,
let's
which
pause,
part
time
do you
out.
want to take? Do you have your ID?
Hold on,
That's
time
all
out.
we're asking is your ID.
I don't-
Time out.
time
Do you have
out.
your ID? Time out. Do you have your ID? Time out. Time out. Do you have your ID?
What are you, the
I know.
opposing team?
Are we gonna sit here and just try to talk over each other? It's amazing.
No, I'm
It's
just
awesome.
telling you to time out.
No,
so I
time
can
out. Do you have your
correct
ID?
I'm not giving
No,
you my ID.
you're not
And
giving
I'll
your
never give my ID unless I commit a crime or am under articulatable suspicion that I'm going to commit a crime, which obviously there is none.
So boring.
I mean, it kind of sucks, but you gotta take a breath, take a seat back, and understand that I've done nothing wrong, man. This is America. You guys gotta remember. Is that
trying to leave?
well, female? Who cares if it's a female?
She was
in
spooked
this
out
day and
about
age,
it.
right?
Why is this person out here taking photographs of me?
Because I can.
Yep.
Because I can,
Just gonna
man.
sit here and record.
I mean, you guys can watch me.
So I've never been
you think
big
I'm
into
bad,
Matt.
the whole thing,
No, we think
can
you're
watch me, that's
absolutely
it.
creepy, and we are agreeing
Is
with
it
the
because
citizen
my
now.
eyeballs?
Hold on,
I
let
got
me.
contacts in?
We believe that he is extremely creepy, and what he is doing is a horrible thing. But all he's trying to do is do his little bait and switch, which is a horrible thing. So that's who he is. That's what he's about. Make sure you include that in the story.
I'll keep
Sir,
it. It's all gonna
you're
be
dope. You're amazing.
Thanks, bro.
Make sure you try not to creep out too
I
many more
won't. I'm
citizens.
not.
Have a good day.
All right, you guys take care. See ya. The walk of shame, gentlemen. Learn the law. Gotta learn the law. Walk of shame. I may be creepy, but you guys are doing the walk of shame, brother. Have a good day. Stay safe. On a human level.
Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. I'll do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like
Man,
an
Effects has
outcast.
some good
I ain't gonna
good
take
beats.
That, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back.
Find a wife in the comments, and then make all sorts of conspiracy theory comments in the comments, and then that's about it. And then share the show, and what else? Subscribe. Yeah, do that too. Today, I am absolutely thrilled to have this guest on. This band in particular was very formative for a young, rebellious Clint Russell. Particularly Keep Them Separated. My goodness, that is a banger. Without further ado, the man of the hour, Mr. Pete Parada. Thank you for joining us, Pete.
Thanks. Pretty like down.
Absolutely, dude. I'm not exaggerating. I felt like The Offspring for people of my age range was like that particular song was the first time any sort of punk band got into kind of like almost like the gang rap vibe, you know? Like that's because I was a huge, I grew up in San Diego, California, and I was a big West Coast rap fan. And when Keep 'Em Separated came out, I was like, yeah, my people can do this too. Like, we can do it too. Even though like if you actually listen to the lyrics, it's not about. It's like it's actually like lamenting gang warfare. That's my read of it. Is that what that song's about?
I never asked what it was about, but I mean that would be my take on it.
Okay.
I try not to interpret what anybody else is saying, if they're not saying it themselves. But
you played it for 15 years. You didn't have any opinion on it?
Yeah, I didn't ask. I mean, I wasn't being paid to have an opinion on anything. So
that's true. Yeah. So for those that don't know, Pete was the drummer for The Offspring for about 15 years. Is that right?
Yeah, about 14 years. Yeah.
14. Okay. And you came on, obviously not an original member since it's an older band. Since I'm old, and I'm talking about how they impacted me in middle school. But what was the? I've already heard you on Temple, so I'll kind of keep this truncated. I don't want to have
Sure.
you repeat everything, but give us a cliff notes of how you got into the band and into the music scene, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, I mean, the music scene in general. I moved from a really tiny town in upstate New York in 1991. About a month after I graduated high school, I moved to LA with my drumming idol, one of my best friends, Mick. And so I went to go to music school. And, going through school, you start meeting people. I met a drummer named Ray Luzier, who's a drummer for Korn now and has played with all these different people. But so me and Ray were roommates for a few years after school. We got along really well. And we're still really good friends. He lives 10 minutes from me here in Tennessee now. And so it just, you get out of school and you start working. I was bussing tables. I was, cleaning a studio to have a place to play drums. And, and then eventually started working at a rehearsal studio and meeting different bands. Fell into a punk rock band Face to Face. I didn't know anything about punk rock, but they were looking for like a rock drummer. Like I grew up heavy metal, in upstate New York.
I think I listened to Face to Face back in the day. Did they get pretty popular? Or am I?
Yeah, Face to Face is awesome. Yeah, they're great. Yeah,
so.
big SoCal punk. Very.
Wait, I'm going to pause this for a quick. Blind Justice is live. Paying for body camera videos with pennies.
It's for the 4 body camera videos from March 7th at the vet center. I think they said it would be $23 if I provided the DVD. So I've got a DVD I can leave as well.
They still use DVDs, just because hardly anyone's computer has them anymore. When a thumb drive would work just as fine.
Unless you guys do hard drives. You guys do hard drives? Okay. I have a thumb drive.
I think I can do it on either one.
Okay.
Well,
so I've got,
do the thumb drive.
Yeah, I've got a thumb drive or a disc. It just really depends on. Should be plenty. Yeah.
Let me go find out
Okay.
and make sure to see which one you can do. Hang on 1 second.
Cool. Did they assault me? No, not assault. They did unlawfully trespass me from the vet center on March 7th. Yeah. Yeah. No, I visited. I'm a veteran. I went to the vet center for service on March 7th, and the vet center staff, which includes Brian Gray, evidently I didn't know that he's running for office here. They denied me service and then called the police, but it's the VA's federal, so like they don't have jurisdiction there. But they showed up and like the lady literally stole my equipment that's issued by the VA. And, yeah, and they didn't cite her, arrest her, and said they conspired with her to trespass me out of the VA. So I'm trying to get the body cam for it right now. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just leave a disc then.
Okay.
So there's the DVD. And then I'll put this back in my bag. Yeah, it said it'd be 30 if I didn't produce the medium, and it would be 23 if I did. So. March 7th. Yeah, March 7th.
You want to pay for it now? Or
Yeah, I'll leave. I got cash here. Do you have a container? No? Okay.
Where to put all that thing?
All right. There you go. Drop a few. That's fine. Let me know if I left any.
He's counting them out. Cash, baby.
I got one more. All right, you guys can double check. All right, thanks, guys.
No.
All right,
literally...
I'll come back. Just email me whenever it's ready, and then.
This is the correct amount,
Yeah. You just let me know what the total is if I'm over or under, and then I'll get the receipt whenever when I pick up the video.
We'll let you know.
Great. And your name?
Alice.
Alice. All right. Thanks, Alice. Have a good one.
She just gave up.
She was like, no. Well, Alice, don't
He's like,
work for
"Fuck it."
tyrants. Get a job producing something. Screw a job. That's a slave wage. Like, just produce something. Share your creativity, Alice, with the world. Create content. Speaking of, there is a adventure channel that we've got going on called Blind Ventures. If you're interested in that, you can check that out on YouTube. I'm gonna come talk to people over here, possibly City Hall. Find out how that's going.
We have an extreme in his chat, so I'm gonna blow it up.
Hello. I'm all right. How are you? Whoever's in charge of public records, I'll talk to them.
Public records?
Public records, yeah. Cool. Sounds good.
He may be buffering a little bit. I had it on to sped up that catch up, so let's give it a pause real quick then. Yeah, it's probably inside the building.
Hey, Uncle Monkey. Hey, man, thanks.
Oh. I'm gonna try something here.
So for the footage, they said it would be $23 for the 4 videos, because they had 4 officers showed up. $30 if you didn't provide like a DVD, which we provided a DVD, so should be $23. Anything? No, I haven't talked back to the. Well, I
Trying
haven't
to
called
put
the
this scanner program on my.
back yet. Hey, what's up, Crew Killer? Well, that's why I asked her if she had a container, and she said no. So I'm like, well, I gotta leave this somewhere somehow.
We'll keep an eye
Yeah,
on this.
I'll get the
We'll
receipt of
back to-
payment whenever I pick up the.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Face to Face was if you look at go back through the years of all the bands that opened for them and then went on to be huge. You know, I mean, you can go back to Sublime and Blink-182 and, you know, but everybody up through like, you know, Jimmy Eat World. And so we always joked like, oh man, when we do a farewell tour, you know, I'm going to start a side project band and we're going to open for us. And then it's going to be the biggest band ever. And then, you know, didn't have time to do that because I was already playing in another band. And so we took a little band called My Chemical Romance out that was just getting started. And then, you know, 2 months later they were huge. Yeah, right. So it was funny. Like we joke about it, but even at the end of my run with the bands, they're back together now.
Oh, very cool.
At the end of my run, it was still true.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Well, I obviously the reason that you were thrown into the spotlight over the recent history was because of I assume you were fired. I don't think you quit, right?
I didn't quit.
Yeah,
I was replaced, and for you know, the vaccine mandates started hitting the industry in summer of 2021. And, you know, I thought we were going to kind of have some conversations about it. Like I have a history of bad reactions to vaccines and other, you know, my body's just really sensitive to a lot of things. And so doing research on this one and kind of looking at the information that was available at the time, especially, it was like, oh, okay, well, they clearly say here that they didn't even test for transmission, and they didn't have anyone in the trials that had any autoimmune conditions or any health issues in any way. It was just all healthy people, right? So it just kind of already looked like, well, we don't really have all the information here. I don't feel comfortable with this, but it just came down through the band's management that I was to get the vaccine or I would be replaced. And when I tried to, it was really the most abusive, unprofessional, crazy phone call I've ever received. Like, it was a newer manager with the band. I didn't even really know the guy, and just was really belittling and threatening and awful all around. And so I was kind of shell shocked from the call. Tried to talk to the band about it. They backed him up, and was like, nope, this is how it's got to be. And a few days after that, I mean, all communication ceased. And then I found out that I was replaced from my Southwest Airlines app because my flight to rehearsal had been canceled. And then my access to the work calendar was revoked. And so it was, but no communication, it was just, that was it.
And you had no prior infractions with the band in terms of like missing gigs or anything like that?
Dude, in 14 years, I never missed a day of work, whether it was in the studio, whether it was on tour, whether it was a rehearsal or a photo shoot or a video shoot. I never said no to anything. I showed up. I was the quintessential good soldier. Right?
Yeah.
And the first time that I pushed back, it was just like, that's it. I was
you got the same treatment that our good soldiers in our military get when they get home from war.
Yeah, right. I mean, I would never compare myself to that, but
no,
I understand your analogy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, man, that's heartbreaking. And I guess I know you've said that this was pervasive through the industry. Obviously, it was pervasive through live performance venues. I think was probably the major concern. Was that their primary explanation? They weren't like actually concerned about you giving them COVID. They were concerned about not being able to do gigs in places.
That was my understanding, was just like, hey, we need to make money, we want to work. And it was it's business, but there were plenty of bands that were touring with unvaccinated members. There was I mean, I would get, after I was out, I was getting messages from bands that are like, dude, we're on a festival today with your old band, none of us got the vaccine, like there's no protocol here for it, nobody asked for papers, no one gives a shit, like, why aren't you here? This doesn't make any sense. And I was like, oh, I know it doesn't make sense. I tried to point that out. But it was starting to get very pervasive through the industry, but it was really arbitrary and confusing. Like, there wasn't any real rhyme or reason to it. It's just like, well, we would like everyone to have, the promoters would like the bands to have papers. So it was just everyone covering their ass at every level, all the way down, from the promoter to the tour manager to the band to to the
sorry
venue.
guys,
everybody just wanted
got
to
some real work.
be a good person and say, well, we're abundance of caution and everyone's health and whatever. And it didn't have anything to do with anybody's health. I mean,
no.
I have a lot of friends in the industry, so I hear plenty of stories of what's really going on. And there was a huge tour out at the time in that same fall, where I wasn't allowed to go. Huge other tour out, and when crew members would get sick, they weren't getting put up in hotels for 2 weeks to quarantine. They were getting sent off the tour, but they were put right on an airplane and sent home.
Right.
Tested positive for COVID, abundance of caution. Here, we're going to just put you on a plane with a bunch of people and fly you home, because it's about protecting profits. It's about, everybody's like, hey, we haven't worked for a year and a half. We're going and making money, and we don't we're going to pretend that we give a shit about this, but we don't.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me. And I think a lot of people were like that, but there was also the true believers that were, totally brainwashed into thinking that this was a silver bullet that was going to end the pandemic. It sounds as if that wasn't so much the case with your band members or management. Why was there not more, especially from the punk scene, it strikes me as utterly bizarre that there wasn't more unanimity in just saying, like, look, yeah, maybe we'll have to not do 2 of the 20 dates that we have on the calendar. But like, if we all come together, like if the industry had come together, because most of the shows you're doing, I would imagine, are with other acts of a similar, ideological backdrop, I would hope, that you guys could have just said, hey, let's stick together with one another and we can still do all the shows. But it doesn't seem like that was ever even a consideration.
No. I mean, I'm not going to pretend to be inside anybody's brain, because, like I said, I haven't heard from anyone. It was very cut and dried and over, and that was it. But plenty of artists stood up and said, hey, we're not going to segregate our audience. We're not going to force this on our band or our crew. Right. You got Eric Clapton, you got Kid Rock, you got John Rich. There's plenty of people that said, we're not going to participate in this system. And so it could be done. There just wasn't the will there to care. It was just like, no, this is going to be frustrating for our plans, and so no, later we'll just get someone else. So
is there a has the political ideology of the music scene shifted from when I was a kid? Because I just remember it being much more like rebellious, fuck the man type of mentality, and that doesn't seem to exist anymore.
No, I mean, there's pockets of it for sure. There's people still speaking out, but I think over time, even through, the way that lyrics are written and songwriting in that genre, people started to get a little more bland of like, well, I'm going to write this thing and it's going to be middle of the road enough that anyone's ideology, they can project it on there what they want it to be, but that way I don't have to risk upsetting anybody. And I think when that kind of starts, then you end up where we're at, where artists in general, I think, are more, rather than looking for something to say, they're terrified of what to say because it's so, the cancel comes so quickly. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've built up this stockpile of good deeds that you did, when you won't follow the next new thing that's put in front of you, nothing else matters. Like you got to keep up or you're out. So to me, it is kind of a strange time in music to be like, well, who's really saying something, and who is just like treading water, trying to get out there and make money, because nobody buys records anymore. Like your whole income as a musician, as an artist, is touring. It's tickets and t-shirts. I mean, it's been that way since Napster. And so to make a living, you got to stay out on the road. You got to keep going all the time. And so if something's going to throw a wrench into the works, I guess your previous relationship, or we're all family, we're all in this together, I guess that goes out the window pretty quick when it's just like, oh well, I'd like to make money, this is really annoying. So.
It's like you're my coworker, but you're not actually my family anymore because I got to feed my kids. I want to dive in a little bit into the creative destruction that comes from or creativity destruction, I should say, when it comes to the fearing cancel culture. Like, just think about, like, if you're trying to write lyrics and you're writing the lyrics with some sort of parameter, any constriction whatsoever, I don't know how you can expect to create the best art, and I still view it as art.
Yeah, I agree. You can't create good art if you're starting from a place of self-censorship. Like that's so that's why I'm a free speech person. Like, to me, that's the most important of our rights, because everything else stems from that. And so if you're going into writing a song or a book or a blog or anything, and you're like, all right, well, I can't talk about this, and I can't talk about that, and I can't sing about this, then you're kind of, are you being honest about anything, or are you just pandering and looking to, create content that will look aggressive but not be offensive? And it's a strange line where you're kind of listening to a song and going, I don't even know what this is about.
Well, but what strikes me as odd is the music that I found most emotionally compelling was the most aggressive music that existed in the 1990s. It was like NWA, and Sublime was a great band. Obviously, there's you guys. There was a whole bunch of bands that just really were pushing the envelope. Rage Against the Machine, even though they have gone totally
pushing a different envelope now. But
yes, but very, very much
Rage for the Machine
government vibe to what they were putting out, and so much of what I listened to as a kid was that, and I think in many ways it was formative to my libertarian ideology, or maybe I was a libertarian and that's why that music appealed to me. I don't know. Either way, but like that music sold, and if it sells, I mean, even if you're not making money off of album sales anymore, still, to become popular, like, if you want to tour, you have to be popular because people have to show up to the concert. So like, it still seems as if there is, from the starting point, you should have free creativity, free reign of whatever you want to put out there. Let the audience decide if it's appealing, and then they'll show up and you make money on the back end. So it seems to me that it's not just about money. There is actually some sort of overlord mechanism that is saying, like, we don't want this content. Am I mistaken in that?
Yeah, I think also that in the last decade or half decade, you've got the rise of the virtue signal too.
Sure,
so it's
sure.
like,
so
now
maybe the audience doesn't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah, and there's such a microscope on everybody now. Like, you say the wrong thing, and like that's it. You don't get a second chance. I mean, the cancel comes fast, and I think what people don't always realize about cancel culture is you as an individual don't have to accept it. Part of the reason that I made a statement in the first place about what was going on was, I'm not going to slink away and just have people be like, oh, whatever happened to that guy? It's just like, no, if we all just kind of hide out and hope that it blows over and that maybe it won't cost us anything later, like, it's costing us, our silence is costing us in general. So and when you do speak out and the mob comes, like, you don't have to take your ball and go home and be sad about it. You can just say, no, this isn't right. And I still stand behind everything that I said then. I still feel the same way now. The no is a complete sentence, and no one needed an excuse to not want to take this thing. And the fact that people lost their livelihoods, and friendships and family and like lifelong relationships over this issue, it's crazy.
I gotta make some phone calls, guys.
That I'd never seen. Yeah, but I think we've been primed for it, through the 2016 election and through everything else. It's just like now we're so primed for outrage at all times, that it's like, I just started to see it on Facebook, so I'm not on there anymore because it just turned into this. If you voted for Trump, unfollow me now, and, or if you're gonna vote for Biden, then I can't be friends with you. And it's just like, I'm looking at this and going, well, you're taking real, tangible people who know you and have cared about you and are a part of your life, and you're cutting them out of your life in service to this politician or this issue or someone who doesn't give a shit about you. Like, this is crazy. Like, what? I don't understand the mentality of, I've known you my whole life and we disagree here, so now we're through. It's just kind of like, I don't understand that. Like, I'm always looking for common ground with people. I think there's always a conversation to be had, and to just, if we start casting everyone out of our lives that doesn't believe everything exactly as we do, like, it's a pretty boring world, and we're not going to learn anything then. Like, I still have
very
people,
isolated world too.
yeah, exactly. Like, I still have people very close to me in my life that don't feel any of the same way as I do on these issues, and we're fine because this issue doesn't have to define our relationship or our friendship or our family or whatever. It's just kind of like, cool, we disagree here anyway, how's it going, But so many people can't do that because we've been driven to division in this country now, that everything is take a side, and here's, oh, you're on that side, well, here's how you're allowed to feel about it.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just like, it's what a boring and bland place to be.
True. I have to admit, I have in some ways.
Oh, thank you, Egolos. Dirty Dog sent me that thumbnail to use.
Like, I've become very entrenched in my belief system because my belief system has been so under threat over the past 3 years, because it really has compelled me. I mean, I started the show in May of 2020. Like, all I'm about is pushing back against these last 3 years of insanity. And but I totally agree with you that, like, it hasn't really impacted my personal relationships, honestly, because when I'm around them, I still love them. Like, even if they were the type of person that probably would have reported me to the feds if I didn't get the job, it's like, you're my family. I know, like, I can still have sympathy for the psychological pressure that you've been under for the past 3 years. Like, they may not be able to view me that way, which is sad. But at least I can still maintain an open heart towards them. At least I try to.
Exactly, and that's where I think we need to be is with compassion. Like, I lost. I mean, my family and I have lost overnight we lost our closest community, right? Just gone, erased, like we never mattered. And even beyond that, we've lost close friends. I've lost, like, there's musician friends of mine that disown me, won't talk to me anymore. Like, people got really worked up over this issue, and I still just feel like, nope, everybody was in an impossible position through this whole process. Like, and I have to have compassion for them because the fear that was pushed on all of us was so constant and so nonstop that I understand that people were operating from that fear. And I try not to take it personally, like, oh, well, they hate me now because of this, or they think this of me now. They can't operate outside of the bubble they created to deal with the fear that they've been inundated with. And I think a lot of people are still stuck in that, even coming out the other end of this. It's still a lot of, well, I'm not seeing a lot of apologies to anybody out there. It's a lot of doubling down and, well, we did this was the information we had, or the science has changed. And it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. And I feel like saying, well, if I pointed something out to you 2 years ago that was true then, but you're willing to accept it now, the science hasn't changed. I presented that to you 2 years ago and it was right then, but then I was crazy and conspiracy and, so, kicked out of the cool kids club. So to me, it's like, no, we're going to end up back in the same position again if people don't go, wow, that got out of hand.
That was pretty fucking crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I resent the I think somebody tried a couple months ago to write this article that was like, we all said some things that we regret. Let's all just move on. And it's like, I don't regret what I said. Like,
no,
I wasn't.
Neither do I.
I didn't yell at anybody. I wasn't hateful to anybody. I spoke from my own experience, got the shit kicked out of me. But no, I don't feel like, we all said things that we regret. It sounds like you do. Do you want to talk about that? But you're writing an article. But no, we're not just going to go, everybody messed up anyway.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, actually, because the very premise obviously details the fact that the person saying we all made mistakes is admitting that they themselves did make a mistake, but they won't. They don't want to take, like, just the sole responsibility. And I think that is part of what we dealt with during that period, was this very collectivized mentality that, like, we're going to sacrifice the individual to defend and protect the collective. I mean, they said as much. It was like, we have to all sacrifice here to defend the collective. And And I think that, from a libertarian perspective, but more from just a historical analysis, anytime a society or a culture gets into that mindset of like, we will absolutely sacrifice individuals for the collective, well, then you have some really, atrocities that have been carried out against humanity in that name. And I don't know why that lesson has not been learned.
Yeah, well, it was just it was easy to pile on people because you were told you're in the good guy club. Like, hey, you're going to do your thing. And for me, not the worst. One of the things I really leaves a bad taste in my mouth was all the different angles that they came at. Like, oh, you got to do this because of this. Oh, that didn't get you. Well, you got to do it because of this. Oh, how about a cheeseburger? How about a lap dance? And then to go,
not mean enough.
Everyone should get this. Because there's some people that it's medically contraindicated for it, and since they can't get this, we all have to get it too. And I'm sitting here with a medical exemption going, hey, I'm one of those people, and it's like, no, fuck you too, you get it too. So, and that was the point. It's
2
like,
weeks.
Don't take people who medically this is dangerous for and act all benevolent like we're doing this to protect them, and then go, no, not you. You don't count. You don't matter.
Exactly.
Fuck you too.
Exactly.
And that was frustrating. And so that was kind of what I was trying to point out at the time too. Was like, look, my medical exemption doesn't matter, and neither does anybody else's. Like, people were still losing their jobs left and right. It didn't matter. Only thing that mattered was compliance, and and every means of coercion ever was used to, put pressure on people to get this thing. And
and it wasn't just compliance to a single item. It was a escalatory compliance metric where are you willing to stay home? Okay, good. Now, are you willing to wear a mask everywhere you go? Okay, good. Now, are you willing to put this untested substance in your body? Okay, good. And that is like it's the ratchet effect. And by the time you're a year and a half deep in this, you look back and you're like, holy shit, what have we done to ourselves?
Yeah, it's the carrot and the stick, but the stick keeps getting longer. Like, you never get closer to the carrot. Like everything you say, and it's like it's only going to be 2 of these shots. Oh wait, why is the carrot so far away? Well. It's actually going to need another one, but we always
get a booster every 6 months for the rest of your life, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, and did we say 3? We meant 4. And now we think yearly, maybe every 6 months. Like, and meanwhile the carrot's moving so far away you can't even see it anymore. But you're being told you can have all your stuff back, you can have all your fun back if you do this. And it's just like,
just not your soul. You don't ever get that back. Sorry. Well, what was was your band traveling globally, or was it just U.S. touring at that point?
Hello, sir.
At the point,
how you doing?
I'm all right.
We only had U.S. shows on the books, so there wasn't any reason that for the next few months that I couldn't have been there. There was nowhere in the U.S. that I wouldn't have been allowed to with my exemption. They were going to the UK like November, December, and that might have been a problem, and maybe they had to get somebody to do that. But we didn't get there.
I called that number twice.
I mean, it seems as if they certainly could have worked with you on this.
Oh shit! I actually tested it once before when I was notified of it.
I can't tell you what anybody else is thinking. And
I mean, do you have an opinion though? I know you don't know, but like,
I think everybody wanted to get back to work. I think
don't you hate that the old mechanic like, well, it's not doing it now, but go ahead and fix it anyway.
It didn't matter that there was 14 years. It didn't matter that everyone was family. It was like, everyone loves you. Everyone's your family when you're doing what they want. But as soon as you say no, you're like, oh, okay, this situation was different the entire time. I was just really, easy and amiable and going along. But no, there wasn't any other issues. I didn't have any issues with my performance. I didn't have any issues with my attitude. I'm a pretty easygoing person. I'm fun to be around. I'm told. And the only reason I'm not still there is
the issue as well yourself when you tested it.
I mean,
I did. I called from a landline in Monroe, Michigan, and it did it. Yes.
You're not allowed to disclose, but it would seem that the Offspring has been a very successful band for many decades, and
I know I've said this.
I would imagine they've made a lot of money over their careers. Is that a fair assessment or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So why was the financial imperative so urgent that they had to pay you immediately and break someone else in?
I don't know. I don't know if it was just like, how dare you say no?
When you call that number,
I didn't get any feedback.
First you hear the quality of
you haven't had any
service,
conversation with them?
Yep.
And then you hear Courtney's recording that says thank you for calling Legend.
That's
correct.
At that
basically
point,
going through
call tracking metrics
with
has
somebody.
done its
Those
job.
are
That
lifelong
phone
friends, you would
call
think at
is
that point.
connected.
Yeah.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So far?
Right. It hurts less now. I mean, this is why I haven't done any interviews.
Right. Like now it's into
because
your
I didn't want
phone system.
Number one,
right.
You guys have an IVR, and you can hit 2 or 1 to get to whatever department or wherever routes from there. That's no longer a call tracking metric. So I'm not sure. I don't know. Courtney.
No, I mean the only question I have as far as that goes, though, is that 330 number.
Because I thought it was important to speak out about what was happening to people. Like it was.
We don't. I mean, that's only in call tracking metrics, though, right? That's not. We don't have that.
Go through a rebirth.
Correct, but again,
it was such an
that's,
unknown
that
at the
number
time.
really
It was
means
really
nothing
very
other than
difficult, intense, and dark for my family.
Okay.
You know, my wife was
When
always
you
keeping an eye
call
on me.
that
I've got two
number,
daughters, and like there was a stretch there where nobody left me alone. You know, there was always somebody in the room.
Yeah.
With me. You know, I was in a dark place.
Okay.
But the thing that pulled me out of it was
Okay.
the amount of support that we got.
Right,
People
so
around the world just going, hey,
that
I really
number
appreciate that
is
you said
designed,
something. Like, I
obviously,
thought I
for
was the only
tracking
one. I thought I was the only
purposes.
person that felt
But
it because that's
once
how
you
we're all made to
hear
feel.
the
That's how I
welcome
was
to
made to feel.
legends,
What do you
Right.
mean you're not
that
gonna get
phone
this?
call
What do you
is
mean you're gonna throw a wrench into things? What do
Right.
you
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's why. So I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
figure
you're
out
gonna
with
be the one guy
culture
that's
then
gonna be a
why
problem
is it
here?
sometimes work?
And
The only
everyone's
thing
doing
that
it.
we
It's no big
adjusted
excuse for me. I'm sorry.
over the weekend,
Never has been.
yeah, because Courtney
Right,
was
if you're gonna
sick
tell me no,
for a bit,
we can't talk about
and
this, or we can't have
so I
discussion
had
about
it.
you
I
know,
just
and it's
changed
like,
the
well, why can't we
order
talk about
of
this? Like, what
you know
is so dangerous? But that
where
was
they roll
the
over
mandate
to.
from
Right now,
down
she's
was
on top of
you
it
don't
when you hit
question
number
this. You
2.
can't ask questions because it's
You know,
very
the
expensive.
only place number
It's
1
just like,
goes to is
well,
the phone in
you
the
should be able to
facility.
ask questions here. Like this
And
is
then
this is
two
some new stuff. This was rolled out
traditionally
really
just goes
fast,
over to
and
her
we're moving
phone, and if
everyone
she
at
doesn't
once.
answer, it rolls over to
I-
Matt
I-
Oakes, and
right.
then to
I
Nate,
have
and
questions,
then to me.
and it's just like, nope.
Right.
Now you're
So
yeah, now you're that person.
all I did was change the over the weekend. I just changed the order of that,
It really
but
is
then
but
what
I will
Sunday
say,
night
I
changed
am
it
one of
back.
those people that
So
was
I
very
mean,
appreciative
working
of
fine
someone
yesterday.
in
So
a
I'm
higher
just
profile position that was
dumbfounded
willing
as to why this
not just
keeps
speak out
happening.
but sacrifice to
Yeah,
stick to their
think
principles.
it's,
Far too few
I'm
people
gonna have
were
I
willing,
haven't
and
had
I
a
know
conversation
there was a lot,
since I spoke
millions
to
of
Courtney and
Americans
called you
that
to
felt
after.
similarly to
Right.
us that went along with
I'm gonna have a
this just because they
conversation
didn't want to be in the
internally,
position.
but
So
I'm
it
about
took
to
courage.
just logically.
Thanks. Well, in my
Yeah, I mean, I just if it's something that we can do to fair, I mean,
Like,
like I said,
wish I
it's
could say something
the
different.
only times
I
this
would tell you
happens
that.
is,
It's like,
is when we're using
But
both
I-
systems
well,
together.
but-
I don't
but
know
I
if there's
get
an
it,
issue
though,
or
because
if
this
culture
is-
actually
this
has an
is
issue with
everybody.
that.
Like it's brutal. Like you are facing a firing squad of the whole world. Now
Right,
you are,
right.
You know, everyone's looking at you sideways, like, and you're almost
Right,
stripped of your
right.
humanity because you won't get on board with just what everybody else is doing. So I don't
know if there's a
share
longer
anybody
delay
feels
that they
this
have to
way,
do
like,
or
doesn't
something that
wanna
they
say
should be
anything, 'cause
doing
it does cost.
before they
There's a
hit the
cost
numbers.
here.
But
I mean,
it's
for-
either way,
for
it
the
shouldn't
people that speak
matter.
out,
It's
like, you know, Djokovic, the tennis player, like speaking
Yeah.
out, there's a cost there.
Let
He
me
could have
have-
gone and got a card and, you know, went about his business, won more trophies, but it was, you know, there's a principle.
Okay.
And when you take a stand on that, it does cost you something. But
Yeah,
you know,
well, on the inverse, there's another cost. Though.
Like,
I mean, you
Exactly.
sacrifice a huge part
All
of
right.
your
All
moral
right.
framework, your
All right.
principles. I mean, that is
and your
something-
voice.
Yep.
and your voice, yeah, which is part of my principles. So, I mean, I don't
I'm gonna
think
call it again.
you know, I don't think people have a long enough time horizon when making these decisions. It's like, yes, there will be some.
I just spoke to him.
intermediate
I left
pain
it on
and
speaker.
short-term pain, but the long-term pain of really sacrificing who you are as a person is very meaningful, and it's sad that
Okay, he says at this point, call tracking metric has released it.
you know, like especially bodily autonomy. Like, it's such a
Well, he can hear
we
this.
were of the opinion that the vaccine was safe and effective and efficacious, and it was going to end the pandemic. I still, on principle, like even if I wanted to go get it, I would have said no publicly because for me,
There it goes.
you can't ever mandate.
It's working now. Jesus.
That's the principle, and it just doesn't seem like there's very many people that actually believe that deeply
Hey,
anymore, and
it's
that's
me.
very concerning.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody.
And of course it
is
worked
swept
this
up
time.
In the compliance of it too, like you said, you know, you roll it out. Will you stay in your home? You know, will you?
All right. Well, he's going to talk to somebody internally. I mean, if I have to reach out to, if it is a culture issue, I mean,
these are the steps we have to take.
you know, it is what it is. I mean, I'll try and get it figured out. We got to try and make this to where this doesn't happen. I mean,
there's a cost. And
then what sucks is that when it happens, we don't find out until much later. That's the big issue. You know, how many calls are we missing?
To be had. Like that's a pretty big red flag.
All right.
Absolutely.
Love you. I'll talk to you later.
To me, it's the reddest of red flags. Like,
Yeah.
It should, even if you're just a totally like go along to get along type of person, that still should have been
That sucks.
a blaring siren. There's something off here. Like what we've never had unanimity of thought in anything, particularly in like modern American, politics or culture.
Certainly not worldwide, right?
Yeah, certainly not worldwide. And you have the same exact protocols that are happening from communist nations to the land of the free. It's like, hey, something's off, and it's not enough people saw it. But as I said, I'm very, very appreciative of anybody in a higher profile position that was willing to do it, particularly people that had to sacrifice financially. Because for me, I was already financially free. I did sacrifice tremendously financially because I closed down a mortgage company to become a podcaster. Trust me, there ain't much money making that shift. But but still, for me, I didn't have the financial imperative. I didn't need to, maintain that higher level of income to survive. So I was in a, advantageous position to speak out when duty called is kind of how I feel about it. So for those that weren't, it took an added level of courage, I think, and it seems as if you are one of the few that had it. Do you think that there was anything about your upbringing that made you that type of person that would have been willing?
Willing to speak out?
Yeah, well, I mean, just willing to sacrifice to basically stand up for your principles.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about my upbringing. I mean, I've always, been a pretty easygoing person, compliant, what have you. But for me, once it got to this issue, it was bigger than me. I've got 2 daughters, and it's like, well, what am I teaching them here? If I go and take this because I don't want to lose an opportunity, I'm showing them that there are opportunities that are worth giving up your bodily sovereignty or your principles, or doing something that is dangerous to your health, which I knew that it was.
Right.
For me personally, it was just kind of like, yeah, well, that's an easy call to make. I can't take this, and I'm not going to be in a position where I'm lying about it, because then they have to lie for me. And, and it was like, so for me, a lot of it was, between myself, my wife, and my daughters, of like, we're a family, we're a gang, we do everything together.
Right.
And it was like, all right, no, we need to say something here, because this is, I'm fighting for everyone's individual rights, even the people who dislike me or hate me or
makes me question whether or not they did something to fix it.
Because the more of these we give up, we don't get them back.
Right.
And I want my kids to have choices when they're older, and if I don't fight for these rights, they won't even be there for them. So, for me and our whole family, it was like, hey, this is going to hurt. This is going to cost.
Makes you wonder.
This is going to be a new world for us, finding a new way forward. We're going to lose a lot of people. We're going to, be in a different financial space. But when you're a family, you make decisions together, and that's how, once we did, we decided to move forward, and it was more important to make a stand here and take the beating than to stay quiet and just hope that it was going to get better, or all right, or I'll be handed our rights back.
Yeah, well, and it turned out that you didn't actually have to comply to get your rights handed back. The national emergency is ending, all the mandates are ending, and it's because of people like you and I. And I just wish that people would have realized that, had more taken the stand when we did, this would have ended sooner. And
could have ended sooner.
Yeah, like much sooner. And it's very frustrating that so few people are able to see it in real time. And even those that see it in hindsight will likely fall for the next bullshit propaganda campaign, and that that pisses me off, because I'm like, you now have evidence, hard evidence. Like, I was giving you some evidence and some theories back in summer of 2020, but like everything I gave you ended up being true. So how about you listen to us next time, and how about you follow our fucking lead, so that we don't end up in some totalitarian hellscape moving forward. Forgive me for getting upset, but it's just like, it's frustrating.
It's frustrating. I mean, the whole thing is frustrating, that there had to be so much loss, that so many small businesses were closed, like people's life's work. You close a business down for a week, and like the margins are already so small for a small business, like you're done. But magically, the virus wasn't deadly at Costco or Walmart, or or it was okay for Amazon to be on the roads and people running around delivering your food and everything.
You have to be sitting down at the restaurant, then you're safe.
Then you're safe, right? It's only above your head. Yeah. But it's like how the suffering that happened early on was just crazy. Like, so many people lost everything because you can't just close your business. Like, no one was allowed to be, I'm going to keep my business open, and if nobody comes in, so be it. Like, I don't know why these weren't options. I know everybody was scared. I know we were fearful, like, well, if people are out, then we're spreading, and we can't stop the spread, and we can't flatten the curve. And
yeah.
But
we flattened a lot of curves, but it just happened to be life expectancy and the national deficit.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, we curved that up, so I take that back. Well, real quick, before I got a couple extra videos I want to show you, but I wanted to ask, have you landed on your feet? What are you doing now?
Yes, thank you for asking. It's been a journey. It's been a roller coaster of a year and a half, but that like I said, the thing that came out of it right away was the amount of support that me and my family got from people all around the world, other musicians, and so people started hiring me. Hey, you got your own studio, right? I need drums on a song. Great, send it to me. So I do a lot of remote drum recording here, and producing for people, and I produced a sound pack of drum loops and things in the pop punk style that's on splice.com. And so all of these things, we've kind of found a new system here where I'm working from home, but then even people like Tim Pool reaching out and just being like, hey, like, he championed my story really early on. And when I wrote to him to thank him, he's just like, hey, come hang out, like, Tim, like, come hang out, let's just talk about, shoot the shit. And then we get talking about music, and he picks up a guitar and starts playing me these songs, and I was like, hey, these are really good songs. He's like, oh yeah, you think, well, should we make a record? And so we've just been working on a record here, back and forth, him and his music supervisor Carter there at Timcast. We've just been kind of cranking songs out for the last year, and we've released 3 of them now. And so working with people like that. And then about a year, right about this time last year, I got a phone call from Dickie Barrett from the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. And he had gone through a similar situation as me. He was the announcer on Jimmy Kimmel's show from the beginning. and lost his gig for not getting the vaccine as well. And I had seen his story, and he had seen mine, and he got my number from a mutual friend and was just like, "Hey, I feel like we should work together." And he's like, "Do you know Greg Camp from Smash Mouth?" And I'm like, "Well, I know of him, of course." And he's like, "Well, he lives in Nashville." He said, "I think it would be interesting if the three of us start writing." So we brought in two more guys, Joey LaRocca from the Briggs from LA and Johnny Rio from the Street Dogs on bass. And so we have a new band called the Defiant. And
Hell yeah, dude.
got the hat right here. And
I love it.
So we've been writing
appropriately named too.
Right, yeah. So we've been writing and recording an album for the last year, and so it's headed to mastering right now. We're hoping to get the first single out in June, so people can start hearing what it's about. But it's kind of reinvigorated my love for music again. Working with new people, like I didn't feel like I'd been terribly creative the last decade. Before that, like when you're a hired person in a band, you're hired to play your script and keep your mouth shut and not have any opinions, but you're also not really contributing anything creatively because it's just not wanted, right? So for me, it's been a bit of a spiritual musical rebirth to like remember why I loved playing drums in the first place and get back to that, and remember why I loved music in the first place. I've started doing more songwriting on my own, which has been really cathartic for me to kind of get some feelings out, not necessarily about what happened to me, but just about my life in general. It's been really, really great to be on that side of things and being like, oh, I can do this too, and doing producing. And so yeah, I've landed on my feet. Are we in the same space financially? God, no. But we're hustling and we're making it work. And I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. And to me, that that's where I want to be.
Yeah, and in many ways, that's priceless. I think that far too many people take the bag as opposed to taking the harder path that's more fulfilling. And I know I've got a lot of people in my audience that DM me because of the transition that I've made from entrepreneur, mortgage guy to podcaster, touring the country, talking libertarian shit. It's like I sacrificed a lot financially, but I have never been more gratified as a human being. And
yeah,
I think people need to hear that message.
For sure, there's things that you find, it's scary, but you find out that there's things that are more important than money. And you're like, oh, well, I used to make more money, but I'm sure a lot happier now. So,
Yeah. And oftentimes that path actually does lead to more money at the end of the day. Like the interim period can be very, very challenging, but I think that, sometimes the more challenging path is the one you're supposed to be on. So I hope that people hear our stories and view some of that and pursue it in their own lives. You don't need to be doing some soul-sucking 9-to-5 for the rest of your fucking existence. Like actually Joe Rogan, who I listened to forever, he really hammers that point on his show for over a decade now, and he's just so right. I mean, and I feel like most people know that he's right, but they just don't. They still don't want to take that swing. They don't want to take that risk. And I just wish more people would.
It's scary. Well, and then you factor in our stupid healthcare system in this country too. So now people are stuck at jobs that they hate, that make them miserable because, well, if I leave, then I lose my family's healthcare. Right. And it's just this way that we're trapped.
Hey, are you still listening? It says if I convert to Easy Pass, I'll save $11.30 on this. Should I just go ahead and get an Easy Pass then?
These places and
for the turnpike,
you made the jump. It was scary. I made the jump. It was scary. But
we'll have one for my car too.
It's still a tough climb. It's not like you just go, I'd rather do something else and be financially stable. Like it's a lot of work, but it's work that I feel good about. So that kind of makes all the difference.
I totally agree, man. Well, speaking of spiritual revivals, I got to show you this video because this kid is just unbelievable. This is one of the Tennessee state reps that was, I guess, kicked out of their state house and then brought back in. Blah blah blah. They're trying to advocate to get AR-15s or assault rifles banned. But this, it's so performative, and I just thought as a musician you might get a kick out of this. Check it out.
This is hilarious. Now look at this guy back in 2016. This is a representative in the state of Tennessee. Hi, Anna.
He has caught the spirit of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, look. First off, I think that I can make a lot of jokes about it, but what I see in it, I mean, other than the fact that it's extraordinarily performative, and if you saw his campaign video from 5 years ago.
I did, yeah.
He's this totally like docile, you know, he's none of what you're
Right.
seeing there. Like he's not that person.
Right.
So it's just an act that he's putting on. But what it strikes me of is two things. One, how the people on the left, for whatever reason, don't care about authenticity at all, and it's like that. You know, this isn't who this person is, but yet it's still he's good at it. Like I'll give him credit for that. He's very good at putting on that show. But it's like he's not real. But like, why do you? And then secondarily, you know, there's this need. It seems to me like the youth of this country are in desperate need of purpose, and it's so sad that, you know, you have this young man who's basically, you know, mimicking a civil rights leader, but what he's trying to advocate on behalf of is getting rid of civil rights, in my estimation, which is to, you know, ban guns in America.
Yeah.
So it's just a fascinating dilemma. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it.
I mean, I did see the old video compared to the new video, and you know, I mean, it's a reinvention, right? You know,
to put it mildly, yeah.
I mean, great artists reinvent to keep from getting stale, right? So it's not in my place to you know, cast any judgment on, you know, which is the real version of things. Like we all get to change our opinions and our approach to things. I haven't followed the story closely enough to have much more of an opinion than that. But I mean, that's, to me, that's just illustrating politics. I don't think it's down to anything to do with that one politician, but you know, everybody's reinventing versions of themselves.
That's fair, yeah.
You know, I'm evolving on this because it's safe for me to believe it now. You know, I mean, how many times have we seen that over the years? So I kind of think that everyone in any form of office is full of shit right now, and so that's
fair point. Yeah,
that's not any more alarming or outrageous to me than anyone who's, you know, showing up being very reserved. Like you're playing a role, you're a politician, you've decided on this character, that's what you're going with this season, and you know, we'll see how the focus groups react.
Yeah, well, we'll see what your character looks like in next season
Right.
premiere. To me, it is really emblematic though of a lost youth, and you know, obviously he has found purpose and he has found fame, and maybe he'll find fortune by taking this path, and you know, good for him. I don't.
Yeah, same guy.
But it just breaks my heart that, you know, he takes on the intonation of someone like Malcolm X, who, you know, Malcolm X would have absolutely hated this dude. Like Malcolm X was all about you know, arming minorities, and this guy is trying to disarm rather minorities. And I just wish that the lessons of the civil rights movement hadn't been so bastardized. And I don't know. It's to me that's the bigger picture, but you can read it in many different ways.
For sure, and it's the internet and the social media age that we're in, where everything's a performance. You know, we're all putting our best face on. Like no one's putting their shittiest picture on Instagram.
Well, if you saw my intro outro, I have a picture of me going like that because it was a freeze frame when I was on Timcast actually the first time a year and a half ago. So like I am one of the few people that is actually trying to find my way through the social media, you know, viral world, but doing it in a very authentic way. Like I'm just trying to be myself throughout. But I think there's a huge mistake that people make, that they think that they have to be some sort of caricature and fit some sort of box. What there's a huge market demand for is just authenticity. If you can just bring that, but so few people are capable. I think that in some ways people of our age range are actually better at this because we didn't grow up in it. So like I didn't have these pressures when I was formulating who I was. Do you ever feel that way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a real self-conscious, like kind of quiet, reserved, not very outgoing person. Like even me sitting here talking to you, like those are big steps for me. I'm kind of quiet, right? But I think it's hard right now because kids are being raised online where everything is scrutinized, and so being authentic is vulnerable. And I think vulnerability is the hardest thing to be because we're scared. There's such, especially online, everything. It's just an outrage waiting to ridicule and make you feel bad or strip you of your humanity. And I think if we, you know, in my experience, when I am online, I see a lot of people fighting and there's arguments and you can't find any common ground. When I'm out talking to people in the real world, you get a different experience. And I think when I spend more time in the real world than online, I feel better about humanity because I'm like, okay, I don't feel so hopeless. When we're actually face to face with each other, we can find common ground, we can have a conversation, and it doesn't have to just be an outrage argument or, you know, but online, man, it's just, there's this culture of people that wake up every day and they're just waiting, like who we mad at today, boss? Yeah. And I'm gonna open my Twitter, get my marching orders, and then get on board. And it's just kind of like, I don't know, maybe just listen. Maybe, you know,
what an idea.
Just take some things in. Like, you know, we don't all have to have an opinion on everything immediately without giving it any thought at all. Just because, you know, our team said something that, you know, well, I got to back that up. And it's like, I don't know, sit it out, give it some thought.
look, all that's true, but I will say this: just because there is pressure, especially for the young people who have never lived outside of the social media bubble or influence. But look at you and I. I mean, my life. I have more friends. I know more people. I'm friends with some of my heroes now because I took these steps. You now have a band of similar, like-minded individuals that you can actually now create with and bond with in ways that you couldn't in your old gig. I think that these are all like you can find a community that just because you get excommunicated from one, well, that actually means that you weren't meant to be in that community. And there are other communities, and those communities are growing, I might add. So I just want people to be encouraged. Don't let the pressure and the fear stop you from being who you are.
Absolutely, I agree. I mean, one of the things that my wife said at the time when we were, talking about like, oh, we're gonna have to speak out, we're gonna have to say something. She's like, we need to put ourselves out there because how else are we gonna find our community? How else are we gonna find? We're about to lose so much community. We can't find our new community where we get to be comfortable, and unless we're out there looking for it. And so I would say that to anybody too. Like, there's a place for everybody out there, but you got to put yourself out there a little bit.
Yeah.
But
it'll be uncomfortable
there
sometimes.
Yeah, nobody's alone in any of this, of your views or your thoughts or whatever. Everyone gets to exist. Everyone gets to have their humanity and their opinions, and there's community.
There's message boards for people that love feet, for God's sakes. You're going to find a community. Come on.
Yeah. Yep. There's a Reddit board for everything.
Exactly. Well, Pete, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead and tell people where they can follow you and support your music moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram, just at Parada. I'm not on Facebook, so if there's something on there, that's not me. You can find my band, The Defiant, on Instagram at The Defiant Official, on Twitter at The Defiant USA, and TheDefiantOfficial.com is our website. You can sign up for our mailing list there. We're going to have some merch soon. Like I said, the first song hopefully is going to drop in June, and I'm really excited to get all this music out there. Tim Cast, my band with Tim Poole and Carter Banks, you can get that at trashhouserecords.com or through Tim's websites and stuff, and find the songs on YouTube or Apple Music or Spotify or wherever the hell you get your music.
Go ahead.
Oh, to say, if you're a music producer or you're into making music digitally, you can go to splice.com and check out my loop pack of all kinds of pop punk beats and fills and samples from my own instrument library here. Everything you need to start making your own music.
Love it, man. And I forget the name of the most recent single from Tim's band that was released, but it is, I actually enjoyed it a lot. I was like, this is a fucking banger. So
Bright Eyes. Yeah.
Oh, Bright Eyes, that's what it was. Yeah, I hope that you guys have a tremendous amount of success, and I hope that your story inspires millions more to follow in the harder but more fulfilling path. And I just hope that it's a tremendous success for you, because your success will add to the courage that people have that will follow in your footsteps. So thank you so much for the time, Pete.
Thanks so much for having me, Clint. Appreciate it.
If anybody wants to support my work, libertylockdown.locals.com. I will be in Tampa this Saturday, and then Nashville, Debating Destiny the following Saturday, and then I'll be in Austin for the Take Human Action tour the following weekend. Thank you guys. We're out.
Welcome to Liberty Lockdown. Please scan your barcode. Your liberty ain't gone, but yeah, it's on hold.
All right.
Okay. Hi. All right. Okay. Hey. Yeah, just public records request. It's up to you. Whatever easy for you. It's not it's just one request I think I have. Yeah. Yeah. I just want a copy of the city's policy on public records. City may now have a policy on public records. Yeah, like any written policy that the city has on public records, like. Yeah. No, email address would be fine if you just email it. Yeah. Insight is free. Yep. Insight is free at Gmail. Yep. Whatever's easier. Like if you've already got it posted online, the link will be fine. If it's not posted online, then just an attachment. Okay, yeah, I'm not asking for the Florida statute. I already have. Okay, yeah, I mean, I would argue that the city isn't following it in some aspects, and you guys don't have to have a specific policy for the city, right? Right. Well, what I'm saying is you don't have to have one written down. Like you may have one written down, and if you do, that's what I want a copy of.
No, we won't.
Well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Well, so like the police department, right? They're sworn to uphold the Constitution, right, and the state laws, right? So, but the police department still has a huge handbook for policies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's similar to that. Like, so you guys can add too. Like it's well, you can give more guidance to your city and personnel on how you guys process things. It doesn't have to be anything special or unique. It's literally copied and pasted out of the state. You're not required to have your own policy. Like I think we understand that, but you may have one. There may be one written down. I'm being told that there is a policy. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
671 Elm Street in Carlton. It's in the Carlton
Sure.
Mall Park.
Yeah. And it may be with the police department because Dutton at the police department. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Well, then, yeah, if you would communicate. Well, I mean, I'm asking for all of the city of Lynn Haven. So every department, doesn't matter if it's the police department, public works department. Like, I understand that you're saying that you may not have specific oversight in all the public records the police department has, but but you can still communicate to those departments and find out. Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. So the way that the Sunshine Act works is anybody can make a records request to anybody that works for the city, right? Or it doesn't have to be the city, any public entity. Yeah, I could have made it to this person over here. Could have taken my public records request. Sure, exactly. So the same thing here. Like, so if you're not the custodian of the records for the police department, then right. Yeah. So because Dutton has said that there is a policy about how much they charge. Yeah. So whether that's a written policy or just a practice that they have, the verbal policy. I want whatever record you guys have. He referenced the policy. So yeah, that may be. Sure. Yeah. No, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to create it. You should. Ideally, it's already saved and uploaded in that accessible format, but most documents aren't. Like so you may have to convert it to an accessible format. And yeah, you can. I mean, you can email me and I'll communicate. Yeah, like if it's not readable, I'll let you know. Yeah. Yep. Sounds good. Yep. And then I guess I've asked for a visual interpreter for meetings, and I'm still waiting on the city to get back to me on that. They keep telling me it's a 21 day, has to be 21 days out, which is not reasonable. I don't think a single court in the nation would say that a person making a disability request gets turned around and says you have to.
What is Easy Pass Plus? What is this shit?
To do it 21 days in advance would definitely not meet the reasonableness standard. That being said, the city hasn't produced one for both the last two meetings, so I'm asking for the next meeting, which is like 2 weeks out. Right? Should be plenty of time for you guys to provide a visual interpreter for the next meeting. There was an email from a guy named Kevin. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and I responded to Kevin pretty much the same thing I'm telling you, that the 21 days is not a reasonable standard. Like, not yet. No. Yeah. And is there any? You guys can call them aldermen or council people. You call them what? Commissioners here? Yeah. Are any of them in today?
No, and they don't typically work from here.
Okay.
This will be it.
Yeah. What about Jesse Nelson? Is he in?
He's probably out.
Oh yeah, there's voting going on today. All right. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, maybe I'll try to find him and ask about. Yeah, because I'm trying to get the of this issue of public records on the agenda for a meeting for the commissioners to discuss and for the people to discuss and get input from the community regarding fees in particular. So. All right. And it was CJ? All right, cool. Thank you. And thanks for getting it. Lock door.
Well, I think I just paid the toll and I ordered a new
people?
transponder.
I'm gonna put this bucket up. Maybe go grab a sign. You guys can find me at Brian Gray if he's hiding around, since apparently they're not working at the vet center still. Or if they are, the doors are still closed, locked. Smash it.
Impact employment. I'm speaking. That can help you.
This is just as I'm coming to swap out a bucket for a
We do at Bettram for day shift. Let me see. This is Thomas.
Hi.
I knew I heard this before. I just usually when I'm attempting to bring something back, I have to ask permission. What's your last four? Oh, it's been a few years. Okay. Yeah, Monday, would 1 p.m. be good for you? All right, just make sure you bring your ID and stuff, okay? ID and either social or birth certificate. I'm at the building on Front Street, and they are hiring for the building on Columbia.
Which way? I guess.
All right. All right. Have a good
All
weekend.
right. You want to show the world your lovely art? There you go, people. This. All right. Yeah, my angled weird. Should more to the ground. Oh, but I was angled more to the ground.
Yeah. Well.
All right, where are the
campaign
booths
are across the street.
All right. There is you see Brian anywhere? Or okay. What about the mayor?
What the hell is all this? Correction, reversal, correction, reversal.
All right. Commissioners? Is there a sidewalk over here? All right, yeah. Right on. Yeah, thanks.
So do they mail me a transponder?
Where are you guys out promoting today? What is that?
Erie Fire and Whiteford Fire should also respond with 3962 Coachman, 3962 Coachman, getting recorded when not possible. Structure fire at that location at Bedford location and now 1411.
Oops.
Website. Okay.
Shit. All right.
Who's the current mayor? Who's the current Mayor Nelson is? So is it just those two candidates then? Jackson and Nelson? Oh. Oh. Okay. So all right. So the incumbent is Nelson, and he's running against. I didn't get the last name. Tinder? Judy? Judy Tinder. And has she been in office? Okay. Usually that kind of happens. They kind of work their way into it. Oh yeah.
Let's find something else.
So are you guys just volunteers for voting, or are you?
Voilà, ils ont ramené. Hein. Vous êtes payé combien là? 10 € l'heure, c'est ça? Vous êtes payé combien? 10 € l'heure, c'est ça? Hein? 15 € l'heure. Hein?
I believe it's boarded up. Might be abandoned because it looks like that piece of wood right there.
Sent me an email. All right. I might check it. I might not need the source file. I might be able to just screenshot it.
I just heard the call that said they
This
needed
French
some
thing is
units
getting kind of.
to do a search and it's this residence.
I don't know which one's better. These French people are getting rowdy.
Excuse-moi, Simon. Eh frérot, Simon, quand tu me dis que tu manifestes, donc tu es là payé 15 € l'heure pour protéger BFM TV. Arrête de mentir. Tu es là pour protéger BFM TV. Payé à 15 € l'heure. Eh, tu peux trouver un autre boulot. Hein. Voilà, donc arrête de me dire que tu manifestes. C'est pas vrai ça. Pourquoi tu mens là? Il faut pas mentir. Hein. Voilà. Arrête de mentir. Voilà. On a dit on est gentil parce qu'il y a d'autres. Il vaut mieux rentrer. Monsieur, cherche un autre boulot. Écoute-moi, je parle, j'ai le droit. Ça ne s'appartient pas là. Hein. Si toi tu es payé à 10 € pour m'embêter, j'ai le droit de parler. Man. Je suis en direct et j'ai le droit de le parler. J'ai le droit de lui parler. J'ai le droit de lui donner des conseils. Et ça ne vous regarde pas. Si vous voulez me frapper, frappez-moi. C'est pas du bon, les gars. Ouais, voilà, c'est bon. Non, je vais dire. Ouais, voilà. Mais je veux pas dire. Voilà. Non, laissez-le. Si ça droit, c'est bon. Voilà, c'est la solution. Ah, j'ai le droit. Pardon. Non, il a le droit. Parce qu'il déforme l'information. Ouais, peu importe, mais il y a des boulots partout.
Non, je suis d'accord.
Il y a des boulots partout. On en trouvera. En mettant au lieu, moi je préfère travailler pas avec des collabos. Ils sont des menteurs,
God.
des collabos.
What is happening?
Non, moi je suis pas prêt, je suis comme toi. Je vais dire, on a déjà parlé. Mais vous travaillez avec eux aussi. Ouais, mais bon. Mais pardon, c'est quoi? Groupe Canal? Oh, mais c'est pareil, hein. C'est pareil, hein, mais c'est pareil. Mais c'est pareil, c'est du monde. Ouais, ils sont là au milieu de nous tous. C'est Bolloré. Ah oui, c'est pourquoi il a dit Bolloré tout à l'heure. Ah donc Bolloré. Non, mais il a dit boulot, chef. Arrête ce boulot.
Non, on peut pas le toucher, c'est Bolloré.
Arrête, tu peux te chercher un autre boulot. Tu peux trouver un autre boulot. Je te le donne, hein. Viens, je t'aide. Voilà.
YouTube didn't tell you that I was on? Like an hour into the video, you didn't miss much. An hour and 15 minutes, you didn't miss much. The French are getting rowdy.
J'ai même pas parlé de trucs Bolloré.
Ah, mais Canal+, ça appartient à qui, là? Non, mais vous l'avez dit, là, si vous prenez Canal+. Et Canal+, ça appartient à qui, là? Ça appartient à qui? Ah, c'est pas toi qui l'a dit, mais peu importe. Mais tu m'as dit qu'on est dans la même équipe. Il a rigolé, voilà, oui, c'est ça. Voilà. Il a rondi l'Afrique. Et si on réussit grâce au dos, l'Africain? Et si on réussit grâce à l'Afrique? Grâce à l'Afrique. Ils n'ont rien fait ici.
It was getting ready.
Changer de boulot.
Already on the scene has cops surrounding the house.
À Bolloré, si on réussit grâce à l'Afrique. Hein. Ouais, il a le droit, c'est son droit. Vous ne le touchez pas, c'est son droit. C'est son droit, vous ne le touchez pas. C'est son droit de rester là. C'est son droit, voilà. Mets-toi là-bas. Voilà, c'est son droit. C'est son droit, voilà. Ah, il a dit Bolloré, il rigolait. Voilà, filmez-moi, c'est pas grave. Voilà. Et combien vous êtes payé? 10 € l'heure, c'est ça? Hein? Non, non, non. Et l'arrêt, ça appartient à tout le monde. Franchement, cherchez un autre boulot, les vigiles, il y en a. Cherchez un autre boulot, les gars. Venez manifester avec nous. Non, mais j'aime pas, c'est un monteur, il m'a dit qu'on est le mec là, il m'a dit qu'on est là pour manifester. Il n'est pas là pour manifester, il est là. Il m'a dit qu'on est là pour manifester. Quand je lui ai dit, vous êtes qui? Il m'a dit, je suis juste un manifestant. Mais la question, pourquoi il me ment? Il ne ment pas, j'aime pas le mensonge. Ouais, mais il est là, c'est un garde-corps des mecs là, de Bolloré. Voilà. Ah bon? On peut les déformer les images, mais c'est ce que
peut les déformer, mais ils
ah voilà, elle les déforme. Ouais. C'est pas grave, il y a comme toi et moi, il y a des... Non, ça n'existe pas, Charlie. Ça n'existe... Le Charlie, c'est à 2 points de mesure. J'en ai parlé dans plusieurs vidéos. Bah, si, Charlie, c'est... Ah bon? Bah, je discuterai avec toi, ça, une autre fois, d'accord? Voilà, moi, je suis ni Charlie, ni avec Charlie. Moi, je suis entre les deux.
Who French scuff Wendy?
Voilà, je suis entre les deux. Voilà. Ouais, bah après ils vont dire qu'on est 200. Après ils vont dire qu'on est 200. Voilà, ils sont partis. Après ils vont dire qu'on est 200. Non mais c'est discutable ce que tu dis. Voilà, mais c'est discutable. Moi, j'ai pas. C'est quelle chaîne ça? C'est incroyable. On en parlera. Ça fait 4 ans que je te connais. Mais écoute, mais la ligne éditoriale de CNews, ils n'ont pas intérêt à montrer qu'il y a du monde. Ils n'ont pas. Non, ils n'ont pas intérêt à montrer. Mais il n'y a pas on verra, mais j'ai l'impression, parce qu'on n'a jamais discuté, toi et moi. Mais non, mais c'est pas ça, mais j'ai l'impression que tu ne comprends pas la ligne éditoriale de CNews. Tu ne comprends pas ce que c'est.
Elle n'a rien à voir. Si tu veux,
comment ça, il n'a rien à voir?
La ligne éditoriale de CNews, profondément raciste. D'accord?
Et papa, ils ne sont pas macronistes.
Alors, hier, il n'était pas macroniste, c'était nous. Maintenant, j'avoue que je ne regarde jamais CNews. Mais en l'occurrence, j'ai entendu parler de livre.
Rien que hier, Macron, il y a un qui l'a sifflé, il y a une femme, ils ont tourné, il y avait une interprète, même sur CNews, il y avait une interprète qui traduit, et il était incapable de traduire ce que disait l'autre, ça, il était en train de les défendre. Tu me dis quoi? Hein, oui, mais
oui.
CNews et BFM TV, c'est la même merde, ils sont là, c'est des macronistes à fond la tête. Non, mais c'est pas... C'est Bolloré, c'est pareil. L'élection on a fait grâce à la... Oui, mais il y a d'autres lois. Il y a d'autres lois.
Je ne dis pas le contraire. Mais ce que je dis, c'est que c'est très difficile à l'heure actuelle de pouvoir faire un travail.
Who's trying to smash that? 4 Piggies wants to know. 4 Piggies wants to know if you guys are gonna smash or pass on that. Get to the chat, get active. We want to know what your preferences are.
Avec un patron qui est en train de
So
casser
what?
le peuple
Doesn't make
et
us
qu'on est en
weird.
train de dire non, on est combien aujourd'hui? Par exemple, on est 1 million aujourd'hui. Ils vont dire 500 000. Tu vois, ils vont dire voilà, moi je reste pas avec eux. Voilà, mais eux c'est pareil. Mais moi je ne l'ai pas frappé. Hein. Je ne les ai pas frappés, je les ai juste parlé. Je les ai...
C'est pas gênant. Faut mettre le sale dessus, c'est
Surtout, il ne faut pas le frapper, c'est tout. Ouais. Je ne jamais frappé, moi. Mais j'aime pas le mec qui m'a menti, ça, j'aime pas ça le mensonge. Ouais, il m'a dit que je suis juste un manifestant. Et finalement, j'ai découvert que lui c'est un garde. Et il juge combien? 20 € l'heure, c'est ça combien? Non, il a pas protégé le mec. Mais ils ne vont pas gagner grand-chose. Bah voilà. Merci à toi, bravo. Bravo. Voilà, il a mis devant la caméra, bravo. Parce qu'il a compris. Elle est bourrée. Oui, mais il a compris au moins. Mais il a compris que voilà. Il a compris. Pourquoi il ne vient pas me le faire à moi là? Parce qu'il a compris que moi je ne défends pas les images. Voilà, lui il défend mes images.
Si tu veux, comme c'est un fichiste, c'est pas des contrats à long terme, c'est des mecs qui les envoient.
C'est quoi ton prénom, c'est quoi? Ah oui, mais je te connais tout à l'heure. Christelle, on lève l'émotion. On lève l'émotion. Excuse-moi, je t'ai donné des ADN là. Je la connais depuis 4 ans, et là je la dis. Hein. Ah ouais. Mais on lève l'émotion, tu parles avec l'émotion. Nous, on part sur le terrain. On est là et ils sont en train de... Regarde, les signeuse, qu'est-ce qu'ils font? Ils cherchent les petites poubelles cramées. Ils font un grand zoom. Ils font un grand zoom sur ça. Donc voilà, la base, elle est comme ça. La base de saigneuse, ils sont comme ça. Donc moi, j'ai pas affaire avec ça. Voilà, moi quand je les vois, je leur donne du conseil. Je leur dis, messieurs, il y a du boulot, il y a du boulot.
The cops just came in that house. Excuse me, they just breached. The cops just breached that house. Breached. It's going down.
I mean, if you have a phone, you have plenty of surveillance, but it's good for. We're going to put it on the new puppy, I guess.
They're still searching. I'm gonna open up the other garage.
The cops have the house surrounded. It's going down now. I don't know why I'm whispering. What's really going on here? The cops got this house surrounded, and they just breached. They just breached the home.
You know, kick out the squatters, bolt down the windows. But they still get in there, guys. They still get in there.
That's what's going on here, man.
Well, all you guys, accident happened at Chester and Buddage, and they pulled over near Andres. They have no further.
That's a different call, I think.
Low check everywhere. Low check. Especially the attic. Look like somebody was doing some little bit of yard work. You can see that grass.
There's some France shit there. Some more France unrest.
Oh, they got the front door open.
So I had to pay. Yeah, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Yeah.
Right in front of that camera. Sorry about that, guys.
Val, did you get some weed? I did. You guys want to smoke one?
11:33.
Let me see if I have any joints. Oh, I'm all out of joints. Ah, sucks. Should I grind up some lethal roasted joints? Should I fill up this tin or? Bow, honest answer, I would totally smash Red Hair only if she was American so I can get my papers and become a U.S. citizen. Hell yeah, man.
Apparently, see how they're taking out the wood
Fuck
right here,
yeah.
guys? So they knocked
Who
that
said
piece
it?
of wood out.
1200 block of Brown Street. Today's date is 0323 hours. PC on Nicholas Neal, black male, light complexion, 31 years, 5'7", 140, brown
Yeah, air tags.
short beard. Last seen wearing a black long sleeve shirt and white shorts. Forecasting suspect wanted PC transfer 2.5 scissors and 148. On a Nicholas Neal, black male, 31, light complexion, 5'7", 140, brown with a short beard. Last seen wearing a black long sleeve shirt and white shorts. Control clear.
You're overheating. Apparently, their main focus is in that garage.
Yeah, no shit, man. Things were good. I don't know when we're going to be heading back out there again. It's maybe a bit. But...
How you doing, Maria?
There's a place here in the Toledo area that has something similar, but it also has a hot cold sauce on it. It's so good.
No, I have not been at the house.
It's like Captain Jarhead or something burger. Same thing, bacon, fried egg, but it also has a hot cold sauce on it.
I was just using this brain and it's taking like
Oh, here we go. Found them.
forever. So
Should I roll up a few more joints or what? Should I?
And it came out like a waterfall.
Should I twist them up or what do you guys think? Should I just leave them alone?
And that was towards
Should I
the
just smoke
end.
out the bong? Smoke out the bong?
So, yeah, guys, if you guys spray your yard, round up, twist them out.
Available unit for Temple Elementary. We were 1032 at this time. Stand by.
I love being nosy.
Unit recovering unit en route to Castleloma.
So
Yeah, but when it was
nobody's
crossed,
in there, guys.
I don't know how to roll one.
So,
Unit recovering unit en route for the
law
attempt contact.
enforcement will
She, like,
close it
taped
up,
it, shit.
wire it up.
10-4, 10-25, Castleloma Elementary.
Roll some joints and smoke bong loads, by the way. I know, right? I have to let them cure, man. I have to. Precious cure. Oh, it is precious. Because once I smoke them, they'll be gone, and I won't have it. But now I have some. Palms of my hand.
Right now, there's nothing going on. They just cleared this house. They thought people were in here, but apparently nobody's in here. Nobody's in custody.
It's called hot cold sauce. It's
They have to board it back up, close it back up.
it's a cold sauce, but it's got like jalapenos ground into it and stuff like that. It's good.
Nobody's home. That's a beautiful house, guys. It's a nice house, but you know, foreclosure. Apparently, somebody lost their house, and it's in a good neighborhood. It's right
Yeah, I gotta save them, man.
Guys.
Yeah, I gotta save them.
You guys want to buy
No, it's an 8. It's kicking
a
it
cheap
low.
house? They're probably going to the market for cheap. Where's Oscar at? He buys houses and flips them. Sure does.
Do you still live in your van? You know how it be, man. Van.
They were looking for some squatters in there. Apparently, there's nobody in there. Nobody. I'm gonna get going, guys. I'm gonna shut down from here.
All right, all right.
But if I do hear anything important to come up, guys, I will go live.
Okay.
Thank you guys for joining.
You're welcome.
For being nosy with me. I will catch you guys in the next one. Guys.
We love nosy.
Appreciate
Let's see if I can find something else.
C'est quoi l'article 12 de la Constitution, c'est ça? Des droits de l'homme. Allez, tu peux la dire. Il y a quelqu'un qui peut la dire. Il y a un député qui nous l'a dit tout à l'heure. L'article 12. Oui, c'est Antoine de Mont, là. Antoine, ouais. Parce que lui, il travaille sur ça en ce moment-là. Article 12, ouais. Les amis, c'est quoi l'article 12 des droits de l'homme? Est-ce que quelqu'un peut me dire ce que c'est? Ouais, l'article 12 des déclarations des droits de l'homme. C'est quoi, les amis?
Okay. You know, almost 98% of the calls that we've been listening to, in my opinion, have been calls to elderly and people that can't breathe. That's messed up, man.
416, can't update. I don't have a report.
Copy.
I gotta tell these two guys that they can't start. Even though it's only second shift or first shift available.
Man, you guys think that I'm jumping on you because I sound grumpy and gripey? Come on, man. If you don't know me by now, I'm telling you, it's your fucking duty. If you're going to tell me something and you want me to rely upon it, the minimum you can do is explain yourself. Now, you know I have no ill will, no ill intent to nobody. You know I'm straining. Look at me. I'm straining my freaking voice. Look at my face. It's red because I'm straining. You understand that? Don't take it fucking... No big deal. But the minimum you can do, if you're driving by here and you're in my chat, if this is a pattern going on. This is not the only person that comes in and says that. And I apologize if you're offended by what I said. Because I'm strenuous. If you're going to do it, it's your duty. Take a picture. Send it to WolverineTransparency@gmail.com so I can forward it to Lisa Lowe's. Hey, Easy, what's going on, man?
Base 12 Alpha 2 arrival. Possible.
Hey, man, people get me all the time. You gotta hear all the shit people say to me. Man, I just wipe it off, man.
Hi.
I ain't trying to piss off nobody. I have no idea what Wells app is. Never heard of it in my life. Uh-oh. Got a state tyrant. He's on his way down 94. Waze is a traffic control app that reports accidents and traffic conditions reported by a commuter as it happens to help you along your route. Cool. That sounds like a pretty good. So you might want to tell me the Waze app is saying that there's a pig in the spot and will we go bite that ass? You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, okay, on my way. I didn't want to fucking say that I did. I didn't want to say that's where I was going because I didn't want them to know I was coming. If they're watching me, they probably already know. That's probably why they took off. Tell me I'm not making change, ladies and gentlemen. Look, this motherfucker don't have nobody pulled over. He bounced because they're watching. Watch this. Here, I'll show you where he's at. And he's probably going to leave right now because he knows I know where he's at. Watch this shit. You know, I've been listening to the scanner the whole day. Okay? There's no Taylor calls. He either went back to the fucking station or he's over here. They had like little bitches back here. And he's not there, so he's back to the station. Sucking off Lieutenant O'Neill, whatever his fucking name is. Puff his carrot. Giving him the Wolverine plunge. Forgive me if I sound kind of defensive today, guys. And if I sound grouchy, please ignore it and pray for me because Wolvie's just having a strenuous time communicating. That's all. No big deal. I love you. Love me for who I am, man. You know, I deal with freaking punk asses all day long. At least I'm not going up and disrespecting women at massage parlor, asking them to suck my dick, sucky, and fucky, like some of these fucking frauditors out here. That's disgusting. You know how many auditors called me out on that and said, why would you support him? And I'm like, I didn't even know it. I was in and out trying to figure out why the lane was acting the way he was.
We got spare tires for the new Explorer.
You guys want to go on that? Start calling that dumb shit out because that's not what we're about. And if that's what you're about, unsubscribe me right now. The fuck out of my shit. I don't give a damn if I got one subscriber. I'm not here for the views. I'm here for the record. My record's going to be used in a court of law one day. My record's going to be used to do what it needs to be done. So we could try these bitches and convict them. Boy, they're on me, guys. That's a lot. That's against the law, too. But
we're good. We're good. 2 a.m. Market Street. Out here with World Peace Parker. We're good.
I don't know who he was talking about, but he's kind of losing it. So I know Flex was talking to somebody outside of a massage parlor, but he wasn't being disrespectful like that. He sat there, had a great conversation with the lady for about an hour.
2 a.m. Unfortunately, for local leaders, I have a 4K camera.
Wow. Yeah. Per capita, that's one of the most richest places in the world. And I'm sure after watching that, you think the politicians that created this situation are definitely the ones that we should have running the United States. And guess what? They already are in many instances. Welcome back beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Zukradowski here of wearechange.org, and we have a huge amount of wild, bewildering news to get into today. As of course, there's some more troubling news for the Biden administration, as of course the beer wars continue, as there seems to be a flooding of a lot of disinformation and missing context that of course I wanted to add in this specific video when talking about such a big issue. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing right now, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally shared by Darren Stallcap, who released this video on Twitter just a couple moments ago, highlighting the degradation and destruction of San Francisco because of the woke politicians that created this situation that they want everywhere else in the United States. It looks like Darren Stallcap is also a citizen journalist, so check him out. If he has a YouTube channel, we are definitely going to be linking it down in the description below. And we definitely wish him more luck and also safety, since he's living in a very dangerous situation, exposing it, filming it, capturing it, and showing the rest of the world, which definitely isn't the safest of things to do, to say the least. Yeah, I'm watching some of his other videos. Holy cow, it gets worse. It gets much worse than what we just played you. And in an ever so dangerous world, citizen journalists are very important, since, you know, the corporate media usually does the shilling for the establishment and the political party in charge. All of this as new corruption details are being released surrounding the Biden administration, as a former White House stenographer just came out and blew the whistle on what he calls criminal actions that he has evidence of that could, quote, put the current president of the United States in jail or will, quote, lead to his impeachment.
I went to the FBI and filled out their witness tip line. There's a website. You fill out all these tips, these web directions. I submitted it. If you lie to the FBI when you're submitting a tip like that, you can go to jail. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. Joe Biden is lying. Joe Biden is a criminal. That's the bottom line. I don't care if he goes to Timbuktu or Ireland or anywhere. He's a criminal. And I've got the evidence.
Now, will the FBI actually do something and do
Nope.
their job? Well, let's just be honest here. Probably not, as of course a lot of the allegations surround Burisma, the national oil company that was paying exorbitant amounts of money to, of course, Hunter Biden, which now we're finding out, according to this whistleblower, Joe Biden was working with for a tit-for-tat relationship with, directly helping the company that, of course, was paying lucratively his son. Let's not also forget that Joe Biden fired the prosecutor in Ukraine that was investigating this entire matter, and then openly bragged about it during a Council on Foreign Relations meeting with, of course, the president of the CFR there, Richard Haas himself, highlighting what this whistleblower, Mike McCormick, says is a kickback scheme, which is pretty clear here. And when we look at Ukraine and the huge corruption that many government-connected institutions and businesses ran there, they sure have employed a lot of sons and daughters of U.S. politicians, paid them off extensively, and you could see that they have definitely bought themselves a lot of favors. Now, this is really something to consider here, since, of course, we're now arresting and indicting President of the United States. So what will happen when the Republicans get into power? Well, probably a very similar situation to what's happening to the former president of the United States.
No,
right now, all of this,
Republicans
as
always
today,
just
we're also
fold,
learning about the
'cause they're just as deep
identity
into
of the
that shit.
Pentagon
They won't do
whistleblower that
nothing.
recently released a lot of documents that, according to the Washington Post, is showing that the person who
They don't have
leaked
the
these
balls.
documents and revealed a lot of really key important
Former
information
Republican.
about the larger proxy war between the East and the West, specifically in Ukraine, was a young man in his 20s who leaked the documents to a Discord group, which now, according to the official sources, the FBI and the Pentagon are now officially hunting. Now, who is this man? Is he on the run right now? Is there a manhunt going on? What's his identity? Well, we still do not know here, but whether it's citizen journalists, whistleblowers, we have to understand that the world isn't always filled with evil people. It's also filled with a lot of good people willing to stand up for the basic principles and ideas of telling the truth, calling out injustices, and standing up against some of the bigger evils of this world. And I would like to think and say that a lot of these type of people are members of LukeUnfiltered.com. I'm speaking, of course, very optimistically about that, but we do have a huge amount of members, individuals that share ideas, talk to each other, get to find like-minded individuals in their local communities, all on LukeUnfiltered.com, our own members area where we will be releasing a new video later on today, right after this one, getting into some more spicy issues that we cannot discuss here on this particular broadcast. That video plus a lot more, plus an in real life meetup happening soon, 3:30 p.m. local time here in Austin. In just a few hours, I will be meeting a lot of you members specifically at a really cool location. There's going to be plenty of parking. There's going to be, of course, pickles. The location right now is up on LukeUnfiltered.com. There's also going to be surprise guests coming, and I'm super excited about meeting a lot of you really awesome human beings in just a few hours from now, which is going to be really awesome and really incredible. If you want to find out the details of that location, of that particular meetup, just go log in to LukeUncensored.com, and it's the first post that we have available for you right now. And I want to do more of these as we are planning a meetup in Miami, Florida. I apologize for this meetup specifically being on a Thursday on a work day, but my work schedule here has been absolutely crazy. I wake up, work right away. I have a small window of time before 5 p.m. 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. I do, of course, work on the Timcast IRL podcast, and I co-host there. So I have only a small window, 3:30 to 4:30.
Was he back on Timcast?
5-ish. I definitely couldn't do it tomorrow. Tomorrow I got to really.
I might actually start watching again if he's back on there, because he's the only reason I watch.
We're doing the main event, which we're going to be doing all day and working for with some really incredible speakers. Saturday, we're also doing another event at the Minds Festival. There's still tickets available for that. And then, of course, I fly back shortly after that. So I really didn't have any kind of time. So I apologize for the people who do work. But we're going to be doing future meetups in Miami, Florida, and many other locations throughout the country. So stay tuned for that. One of the perks, again, of being a member of LukeUnfiltered.com. So I appreciate you guys very much for being a part of that. And if you're a member, we also emailed you the location of today's meetup, and we very much look forward towards seeing all of you amazing human beings. Now, I think it's fair to say that financially we are headed for some very troubling times, as well as geopolitically, as of course Warren Buffett recently was asked why he sold all of his semiconductor stock from Taiwan, which he didn't really have an answer for, highlighting the future of more
They like each other?
stability.
That's cool.
And with geopolitical and financial
She's kind of an airhead,
a
though.
lot of people usually soothe their worries and problems with a nice cold alcoholic beverage called a beer. It should really be called a fluoride drink that calcifies your pineal gland, but that's beyond the point here, as I think it's fair to say that the harder the times get, the more people usually rely on alcohol. All
Fluoride
of this
drink?
right now is happening during a major beer war, as of course Bud Light decided to be a part of the culture war and endorsed their brand with Dylan Mulvaney and the woke agenda, propelling the ideas that, of course, Dylan Mulvaney represents. This, of course, has created a huge backlash. There's a lot of people saying that they're now boycotting Bud Light. Some people are saying that this is ridiculous and stupid. Other people are saying that this is absolutely necessary. We're going to get into that debate in just a little bit. But as the Epoch Times reports, they are saying that a boycott of Bud Light has
I'm noticing that with a lot
and
of,
will lead to some
let's
significant
just call them
financial
pundits.
ramification. This, as according to
Lately.
the Daily Wire right now, top executives at Bud Light are claiming that they had no idea that Dylan Mulvaney was going to be their sponsored brand representative, and that this was done allegedly by a low-level marketing staffer. All of this is a lot of people are paying attention to the stock of Anheuser-Busch and are estimating that the brand has lost $6 billion, and so far, Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light have not tweeted or sent out any kind of larger message out there to the general public since this brand endorsement. Dylan Mulvaney hasn't even been sending out as many TikToks as he usually has, as a lot of people are looking into the Bud Light VP executive that, of course, was responsible for this brand deal, who, of course, publicly wanted to change the, quote, fratty image of the beer company, as leaked photos just came out of her being at a frat party doing really crazy things. CNN has the best take out of all of this, saying that this inclusion ad campaign is, quote, good for business, as it's pretty clear here that the beer company kind of crapped all over their number one consumer base, while specifically marketing to a younger demographic, which the Bud Light VP of marketing specifically said she was going after, hiring Dylan Mulvaney, which of course predominantly advertises on TikTok, where his audience is of course of very young, impressionable children that now Bud Light was directly advertising to, trying to sell them beer. And I think that should be the real scandal here, the real issue here, as of course, beer is horrible for your health. It rots your liver, it destroys your brain, it's filled with endocrine disruptors that give you moves, it's filled with fluoride. And a lot of young people are dealing with specific alcohol abuse to the point where
that
even the
mass shit.
Pentagon has found out through a recent study that it's one of the reasons why over 77% of young Americans do not meet the mental or physical qualifications for military service. This is according to American Military News.
77%?
And with so many deaths of despair, with so many people struggling
That's
financially, for a beer company specifically to advertise for children during these very key, confusing, difficult times is absolutely immoral and evil, in my opinion, and should be the real focus of discussion, and why Bud Light should be canceled. So when it comes to this larger culture war, it's not even that I'm on the side of Bud Light trying to be inclusive. I'm on the side of Bud Light's a really bad product that hurts a lot of people, that clearly does not give a damn about the average human being, but only wants to sell you a horrible product that does really horrible things to you. What's next? A Dalai Lama endorsement? And when this boycott goes on, it's important to know here that Anheuser-Busch, that's responsible for, of course, Bud Light, also owns Budweiser, Michelob, Busch, Natural Light, Shock Top, O'Doul's, and many other alcoholic beverages, which I have tweeted out and listed on my Twitter account under, of course, Luke, we are changing. Again, this is the full list here. I'm just going to scroll up through it of all alcoholic beverages that Anheuser-Busch pushes. And if we have a moment and momentum to actually talk about not drinking booze, I think this is a good time. And as influencers, I think we should be more careful and more responsible with the larger ideas of what we represent and push out to our audience members that, are, of course, are impressionable and hold us to a high accolade. Joe Rogan recently went on his podcast and said that this was not a big deal. And he opened up a Bud Light and essentially endorsed this company, endorsed this marketing effort, and said, of course, that this was not a big deal. And in my opinion, it is a big deal, especially with some of the problems that people face from alcohol. Now, to steel man his argument, he's probably talking about how cancel culture is ridiculous, and it is, but the left still wields it very effectively, uses it for the most stupidest kind of things, and the right never really has any kind of success with it at all. And in this kind of weaponized cultural space, many people on the right are saying, hey, this is an issue we got to get behind, and if they're going to hit us here, we have to hit them back this particular way. Do you think that's a convincing argument? Let me know down in the comment section below, as of course, there's a lot of other important things that we could be talking about, especially when it comes to the collapse of the dollar. And I agree, in some instances, a lot of this is pretty petty, pretty crazy, but this is where the fight is. And if there's ever an opportunity to help people, if there's ever an opportunity to push back against multinational corporations that screw you over, I think we should also take that opportunity, warn people about the dangers of products, and help them make the right decisions for themselves. And of course, you voting with your dollar does absolutely matter. Are there other pressing issues that are more important to talk about? Yes. Is this what everyone's talking about? Yes, as well. So let's add our 2 cents here, which I think are imperative and important, and call out the bullshit that's actually hurting people. And if you agree with me, share this video with your friends and family members. It's more important than ever. And because you do that, that's why I'm still here. This is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video coming your way later on today, right after this one on lukeunfiltered.com and the meetup, which I'm really super excited about. See you there as well. Free pickles.
Free pickles.
Hey, what's up, guys? Long Island Audit here, back again with another video. The NYPD continues to prove themselves as tyrants, and corrupt tyrants at that. Let's get into it. All right, guys, apologies for my mic. My mic just broke, so hopefully you all can hear me just fine. Let me know in the chat if everybody can hear me. So I wanted to bring this article towards everyone. I wanted to bring this out in front to every single person that I possibly can. NYPD officers brag about milking overtime, call detainees names, and accidental recording. This is why recording the police at all times is so important, ladies and gentlemen. Audio, visual, just record the police in any public setting. And if you're on your private property, 100% record the police as well. Because look what the police say, specifically here the NYPD, when they think no one is listening. So here, this is an article from The Gothamist. It was written by Jake Ofenarts. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. So it starts off, Jonathan Wall's arrest last September was about as routine as they come. The 35-year-old construction worker was staging a one-man protest against his union, recording himself on his phone as he stood in the lobby of the Midtown offices of Laborers Local 79. When security asked him to leave, he refused, and the building called the police. In a strange twist of technological fate, Wall's phone, which at this point was in possession of the police, kept on recording. For
Love it when
nearly
that
8
happens.
hours, as Wall paced around a holding cell in the Midtown South Precinct, his phone picked up conversations among dozens of cops who did not appear to know they were being recorded. The tape, which was reviewed by the Gothamist, offers a rare window into the daily work of a police officer behind closed doors. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, their job is so scary, and officer safety, and they work so hard, and they're heroes, and they're here to protect and serve us, and they're here for the benefit of us, and let's see what goes on behind the scenes when no one's watching. And the ways that a number of recent criminal justice reforms have changed the way officers process arrests and collect overtime. In contrast to the comments from top NYPD officials who have spent years lobbying against bail reform, rank-and-file officers offered another perspective, suggesting the additional paperwork required by the new law had been a boon to their paychecks. The almighty dollar, ladies and gentlemen, the taxpayer's dollar, your dollar and my dollar, our money, we the people's money. Bail reform sucks. This is a quote. Quote, bail reform sucks, but it is also one of the best things that's ever happened, too. Wall's arresting officer Sean Enright said to a co-worker in the recording, God is great, bro. End quote. The NYPD declined to make Enright available for comment on this story and declined to comment as an agency. The Police Benevolent Association, the union representing the rank-and-file police officers, did not respond to the request for comment. Of course the union had nothing to say. Of course not. But when we exercise our rights to remain silent, it's always an issue. But they're being very silent on this. And this was dated just April. A viewer sent this to me April 7th, so just 4 days ago this was written. So this is recent. This is the gentleman in question, Mr. Wall. Milking it. Wall, a father of 4 who grew up in the city's foster care system, spent roughly 8 hours. When I was arrested in the 61st precinct in Brooklyn, I spent around 6 hours. So, 6 to 8 hours sounds about right for them to milk their overtime, ladies and gentlemen. 8 hours waiting for his desk appearance ticket, which notifies defendants of when they're next due in court, according to the tape. He said the cell was filled with feces and that his attempts to retrieve a bottle of water were met with insults. Eventually, he said one of the officers brought him a water inside a filthy cup. And I can 100% attest to this. When you're in those holding cells at the NYPD, they're disgusting. There's cigarettes everywhere. It's completely filthy and unsanitary. And they laugh at you. They'll mock you. They don't care about your requests. They don't care about any of that. Horrible, horrible NYPD gang members, thugs. At one point, roughly 3 hours after Walls was first placed in a cell, an officer, whom Gothamist could not identify, can be heard approaching Enright, then lowering his voice to ask if he plans to run some time. Quote, run some time. Are you going to milk it a bit, the officer continued, or is it going to be quick? End quote. I'm going to make my money, Enright replied. I'm going to make it work. The comments appear to refer to the additional overtime that officers collect while processing arrests. Allegations of the practice, sometimes known as collars for dollars,
Love that
have
statement
dogged the
there,
NYPD for decades.
Turgic Creations.
Decades, right? Decades of this
Oh,
controversy,
yeah.
decades of this going on. And if you're from New York City, you know that this is going on. You know the tyranny. You know the corruption happening for decades, right? But yet we, the people, can't affect any change. We can't come together and change the NYPD. Are they that powerful? Are they more powerful than the people? That can't be, because we're the ones that fund them. Over $1 billion, to the tune of over $2 billion. According to law enforcement experts who spoke to the Gothamist, processing a misdemeanor trespassing charge shouldn't take more than a few hours. The recording shows Enright spent an additional 5 hours writing up Wall's desk appearance ticket, which is 1 page. I'm sure they can do it in less than a couple hours, maybe an hour tops. Obviously, it doesn't take 8 hours to fill out a desk appearance ticket, said Christopher Herman, the former NYPD crime analyst, who now teaches at John Jay College. But if I needed some overtime, I'm going to make sure it takes a little longer than it should take. Sometimes mama needs a new pair of shoes. This is the mentality. This is the mentality of the NYPD, ladies and gentlemen. Disgusting. Mayor Eric Adams, where are you? Where are you? How are you? You're not in control of your city, of our city. We elected you to be in control of the city and run the police department, and you're doing a horrible job. Halfway through the fiscal year, the NYPD has already exceeded its annual overtime budget. In the previous year, the department spent $2.2 billion on overtime for officers. $2.2 billion. I know my mic's not working today, but I hope all of you can hear that clearly. $2.2 billion. Nearly double their allotted amount. NYPD has defended the belief of overtime as a consequence of staffing shortages and the need to respond to crime hotspots. Herman said it seemed likely that officers were taking advantage of changes to bail and discovery laws, which mandate that officers scan and upload additional material to rack up additional overtime. Paperwork overtime is easier than most other overtimes, he said. I'd rather do paperwork at a desk than stand out in the cold on New Year's Eve or get yelled at working the West Indian Day Parade. End quote. While Enright's voice is heard the most, the tape also captures others inside the precinct. At one point, an unknown officer approaches the recording device, appearing to disparage a woman he'd recently arrested as a liberal CUNT. Again, I can attest to this. This is how they treat people that they've arrested. This is how they treat the public. Whether you're breaking the law or not, everyone deserves to be treated with respect, right? Especially when you're already in the cell.
Like any of this is surprising.
There's no reason for you to be treating people like this. There's none, other than your ego, right? The ego of these NYPD officers putting on the cuffs super tight. As you'll see in a minute, we're going to talk really briefly about they slammed an old woman, a 61-year-old woman, to the ground, breaking her arm when she recorded in a police station, a precinct. Maybe that 18 hours that you spend on that effing cage in the back will change your mind about life a little bit, an unidentified officer said. Those kinds of people, nothing will ever be their fault. Enright replied. It wasn't immediately clear who they were talking about. Though Enright had spoken cordially to Wall during his arrest and even praised his cooperation per the tape, Enright's tone shifts in the company of his fellow officers. Of course it does, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, because they're smiling to your face. If you're that lucky, I wasn't. But then behind your back, you're a piece of garbage filth to them. Privately, he's heard in the recordings describing Wall as a professional victim and a total idiot. This is to show you that Mr. Wall probably thought that officer was being nice to him and treated him kindly, even though he just arrested him and took his freedom and I'm sure stole his property. But then he goes on to call him a professional victim, a total idiot, somebody who's standing up for his rights and protesting peacefully. It would be funny if I EDP'd him, an apparent reference to the NYPD's designation of some suspect as emotionally disturbed persons. Wow. It would be funny if he EDP'd him, putting him as an emotionally disturbed person. Excuse me, Officer Enright, you're an emotionally disturbed person. You should be reported. Wool, who does not have a criminal record, said his protest was aimed at calling attention to a racist foreman who he claims the union was protecting. Oh, the union protecting bad people, of course. As a member of the laborers of Local 79, Wool maintained that he had the right to stand on union property. But even as Enright acknowledges in the reporting that the case will likely be thrown out, he expressed strong confidence in Wool's guilt, saying that Wool had spoken to his lawyer prior to the arrest. Wool is currently suing the construction company he worked for over alleged discrimination. Anytime someone has a lawyer, chances are they're a perp because they know they're committing crimes, end quote. That's Officer Enright. Anytime someone has a lawyer, chances are they're a perp because they know they're committing crimes. Or maybe, Officer Enright, we need attorneys because the NYPD and law enforcement across the country are taking advantage of the system, taking advantage of our rights, taking advantage of people who don't know the law or don't know our rights. Law enforcement's behavior has been disgusting. The Manhattan District Attorney declined to prosecute Wool for his arrest in September. Of course he did. At least he did the right thing there, didn't prosecute him maliciously. Later in the recording, while speaking to a supervisor, Enright appears to reference the Black Lives Matter stickers on Wool's construction helmet. By the stickers on his helmet, I could tell he was and then his voice trailed off. Yeah, I wasn't digging those, the supervisor said, whose identity cannot be confirmed, but who Enright referred to as Sarge. Wool, who is black, said he was horrified by the remarks, which he said suggested his race as a factor in his mistreatment by the police. It's a game that the NYPD plays. They arrest people of color just to hold them in cells and out for hours and get overtime for it. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what's going on in the NYPD. This is what's going on in law enforcement in your area, throughout the country. When is the time for we the people to stand up and not accept this and demand change? That's what we're trying to accomplish here in NYPD, the New York City Police Department. We need change. 100%. So I also wanted to show you really quickly this article here. Officers broke woman's elbow in arrest at Brooklyn Precinct. Another Brooklyn Precinct. I was arrested at the 61st in Brooklyn. I believe she was arrested at a different one, the 62nd. A group of NYPD officers violently arrested a woman after she came to their Brooklyn precinct to pick up a police report of lawsuit charges. The footage provided by the attorney shows the alleged incident unfold. Patricia Rodney went to the 62nd precinct in Bath Beach on November 30th, 2020. After her insurance company told her she needed to file a police report before it could be replace her glucometer she had lost. A lawsuit she filed against the city says. An officer told Rodney, who had diabetes, that she could pick up a copy of the report on December 2nd according to the suit. When she returned to the precinct that day, however, officers there refused to request the lawsuit claims. One officer told her that she would have to request a copy at the NYPD Manhattan's headquarters, according to Hellgate, which was reported on the lawsuit. Frustrated.
Oh, welcome back, Hyro.
The outlet reported
You have not been blocked. No one would ever have a reason to block you.
When Rodney held up the phone and said that she was recording,
I was just asking the other day.
Agitated and enraged, the suit alleges. Ma'am, we're asking you.
And if you did, it was a fat finger on somebody. I haven't even blocked anybody.
Footage obtained by Rodney's attorney. Rodney, who was not actually recording, but said to so because she was afraid, without knowing they were.
Sure, Hyro. The wife was even asking about you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this woman.
This inDOCtriNATION.
She was just saying she was recording to protect herself. I'm sure some of you have heard of this story already, but I just wanted to highlight it again because the lawsuit is still pending, to my knowledge. And That Surprise Witness, BJ, at That Surprise Witness YouTube channel, pointed me in this direction. That's when the officers handcuffed Rodney's wrist and shackled her ankles, pushed her to the ground, and began twisting her arms, causing her to cry in pain. Breaking her arm, ladies.
You haven't figured it out by inDOCtriNATION.
This woman's arm.
We like bad people.
61-year-old for recording. She wasn't even recording. She just told them that for her protection. Again, in 2020, when this happened, the then mayor, and the now mayor Eric Adams should have done something about this. The NYPD commissioner should have changed this policy immediately. Why is it that the corrupt, tyrannical NYPD can record you, but you can't record them? Now let's look at their policy, right? Because they're always so big on their policies, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at their policy. Again, thanks to That Surprise Witness, the YouTube channel, BJ. Go subscribe. She covers all of the lawsuit from this woman and everything in way more detail than I ever could. So go check out her channel. The link in the description. The link to her video covering all of this, the NYPD's policy, the lawsuit, the amicus brief, everything in the description below. Go check her out. Let her know that LIA sent you in the comments. So this she gave to me is their administrative guide. When a member of the public when a member of the service encounters an individual observing, photographing, and/or recording police activity. So it starts off to say individuals have the right to lawfully observe and record the police activity, including but not limited to detention, searches, arrests, and uses of force. It goes on to say do not intentionally prevent or attempt to prevent an individual from recording police activities. Do not threaten, intimidate, or otherwise discourage an observer from recording police activities. Do not command an individual to cease recording when the individual is authorized to do so. Do not stop, seize, search, summons, or arrest an individual solely because the individual is recording police activities. Do not seize property or instruments used by an individual to record police activities. Do not delete or seize recorded images of police activity from an individual's recording device. Do not copy a recording of police activity without consent of the individual who made the recording. So, in this part of the policy, right, it goes on to state, basically, do not interfere with the public's right to record the police in their activity, right? But then, at the very end of this, right here...
Yes, I have, unfortunately. I had to dismiss 5 people yesterday.
Links in the description. Number 7.
Nothing as extraordinary as that last one.
Members of the public are not allowed
They all knew it was coming.
Police activity within department facilities. Members of the service may order any member of the public who is photographing or recording within department facilities to stop such activity. If such person refuses to stop, then they should be ordered to leave the premises. If such person refuses to leave the premises, members of the service may take proper enforcement action under the trespass statutes, which I was charged with that trespass statute there, Penal Law Section 140.05. That's the one I'm currently charged with for standing up for my rights and not leaving the police department. And again, they still confiscated my cell phone and GoPro, which is why I'm not able to bring you guys the video. So, but then it contradicts itself, because it even says here, an individual cannot be arrested for, hold on, I saw it before. It goes on
It's already
to say
contradicted itself.
that they can sometimes, for an officer's safety, limit you. Right here, the right to lawfully observe and record the police activity extends to individuals in public places such as streets, sidewalks, and parks, as well as private property in which the individual has a legal right to be present.
I never park in that same spot anymore. At least 2 or 3 spots over.
Public property is the NYPD precinct, the lobby. I have a right to be there. You have a right to be there. We, the people, have a right to be in the lobby. It specifically says, if you have a legal right to be present, it extends to that. I have a legal right to be present in a police lobby. Everybody does. Every single person does. But yet they want to arrest me, arrest this woman, break her arm, take my property. I'm sure took her property. She filed a lawsuit. I'm extremely proud of her for doing that. She's fighting against tyranny. And this is what we all need to come together to do. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a court date on April 23rd. It's a Sunday. I don't understand how the court system is open on Sunday morning, but I will show up on April 23rd because that's when it told me to show up. I will be going to the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office. Now, this is where we, the people, you need to unite. I want to say this before finishing this live. We, the people, you need to unite together. It's the only way we can affect change. The only way we can fight against tyranny. The legal way. I want to first say to everybody watching this, do not threaten violence to the NYPD or anyone. I get threats of violence and death threats. It's not cool. It's not the right thing to do. I have a family. I'm sure these NYPD officers have families. Whether they're violent or not, let's get them out the legal way. Let's protest. I'm right now setting up a huge mass audit / protest at the NYPD. I'm not going to discuss any details yet because I don't want to tip my hand, but a peaceful protest. We will not let the NYPD get away with this. But we, the people, need to unite. And how do we do that? By petitioning our grievances to our government. Peacefully petitioning our grievances to our government. The public contact information for the Brooklyn District Attorney, Eric Gonzalez, I believe his name is. Let me double check. I don't want to give you wrong information. I believe his name is, let's check it out here. Brooklyn District Attorney. Keeping Brooklyn safe and strengthening community trust. Right. Make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to end the live in a few minutes here, but this is the Brooklyn District Attorney here. His name's Eric Gonzalez. Again, keeping Brooklyn safe and strengthening community trust. You're not strengthening community trust by prosecuting a journalist, an independent journalist, for exercising their First Amendment right of.
As far as juice, I just get the salt Nick. I usually get the 50, 55 milligram. Right now I've got grape ice. It's pretty good. The wife's got banana ice. Also very good.
Freedom of press. That's not, where's the transparency of the police department? Mr. Gonzalez, district attorney. So his contact information here.
If you just have a disposable one, I have one. These are, in the long run, these are supposed to be cheaper. And I don't get a big one. This is just called an RPM2. By Smock, S-M-O-K, Smoke, Smock, S-M-O-K.
Appointed by the commission. Our district attorneys here in New York are elected, so he's an elected official. So his contact information is in the description below. His Facebook page, the Brooklyn District Attorney's Facebook page, as well as any phone numbers from the arresting precinct that arrested me and violated my rights. Everything is in the description below. Again, to peacefully petition your grievances to your government. It's the only way we the people can affect change. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I truly do. Let me look at some of the comments here before I get out of here for a few minutes. It's horrible what they're doing. It's horrible. It's completely horrible what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen. It's horrible. We're going to hold them accountable. I promise you. I promise you I will continue to go to New York City. The worst part about New York City to me is that there's no parking anywhere. Horrible. Horrible. I'm going to have to take the train, the LIRR, to Penn Station, and just public transit everywhere. If you see me out there in New York City, say what's up. I really appreciate you guys. Let me take a look at these comments here.
Sounds good.
I will release the video of my arrest as soon as I get it, whether that's through discovery or Freedom of Information law request. I did a FOIL request for the body camera footage, and they just answered me today. And you know what they said? We will have the information ready for you by August 22nd. August 22nd is when they're going to have the body camera footage ready for you. So hopefully I can get a little bit faster through discovery. So I will be contacting the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office tomorrow, as I'm sure many of you will be as well. So hopefully I can get through. Vision Corp, what's up? Victor Rice, Dave L, how you guys doing? I really appreciate you guys. I didn't want to be too long here. My mic just broke before this happened, but we need justice for this woman here. We need justice. This woman, 61-year-old, 61 years old, said she was recording the police, and they threw her to the ground, shackled her hands and feet, and broke her arm. Disgusting. Disgusting. Guarantee you none of those officers were held accountable. Guarantee you none of them were held accountable. Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez, we the people are calling on you to do the right thing and drop the charge against me. So that way we can contact Eric. Mayor Eric Adams' contact information is in the description below as well. So far I've done Brooklyn, a precinct in Brooklyn, a precinct in Queens. So there's 3 more boroughs: Staten Island, Manhattan, and the Bronx. So stay tuned for those. I promise you I'll go out to every single borough. That's a promise. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. I appreciate your help. Your help means the world to me. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Let me be big here. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Without you guys, I can't do what I do. We've changed policies before, unconstitutional policies. We've done that. We've had mayors just down signs. We have made change through lawsuits and everything else. We can do it together. and I truly appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think about this one in the comment section. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Long Island on it. Peace.
I mean, Andrew on this dude. All right. Probably, it's, yeah, a lot of people have said it probably is. They actually, when the most recent company, and it was like 12 years ago when the most recent company took over this building, they actually had somebody come in and sage the building because it's like 160 years old. But yeah, you're right. Probably is. Nice today, weather-wise. 80s. What is it now? 79. Yeah, I'm sure she could. Fuck, how much did they take out? $55. 55.80. What am I getting into here? I need an oil change pretty soon. All right. Confirms through my paperwork. The grind is about complete. All right, let's find something for you guys to watch. I'm almost done here. I'm actually thinking about going back on the road again before I go eat dinner and. I would if I could get to my oil filter. I hear him bitching about it even when it's on the lift, about how hard the oil filter on these Trailblazers are to get to. I used to do it all the time though. Older cars, easy to do.
In this nation, and the First Amendment is under attack. So when anytime a camera shows up, people start perpetrating a fraud, acting like until it's one of theirs. Back the blue until it happens to you.
Good guys from this one.
Got the cops right here. Hey, what's up, Bob?
Yeah,
How are you? Good, good.
Hi, sir. Hi.
Hey, how are you? Excuse me.
How you doing?
No, I'm okay. What's your name, man? You was talking to me. I'm sorry, I was busy. What was you asking me, ma'am? I'm sorry.
I was asking him, what are you doing?
On the time is going to be 1958, 1958.
What do you see me doing?
Looking inside of a car.
We're allowed to. Are we?
That's okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I get your card?
Sure.
What's your name and badge number?
Last name is on my badge, it's Rodriguez.
What's your badge number?
It's right there, it's 188.
180. Can I take a look? I'm sorry. What's your name and badge number, sir?
McMahon?
McMahon, your badge number?
10898.
10898. Okay, thank you. Is there a reason why you make contact with me?
So you got a final for your
Because you're making
contact
contact with me. Every interaction will get recorded.
I didn't say anything to you. Did I say anything to you?
I don't think I'm going to fill it up for you.
All right. I'll be right back.
CPR.
Look, more in my people.
Courtesy, professionalism, and respect.
Ooh, what's that?
Yo, don't put your hands up.
Don't touch your car.
Don't put your hands
Don't
up.
touch me. That's cool. Don't touch your car.
Don't do that.
Don't touch your car.
No, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't be touching people, man.
Son is wilding out. I thought y'all knew the laws. What happened? So what law is it? What law are you enforcing?
Why are you getting into the car?
What's wrong with
I don't know
that?
if you got a weapon or not.
So what's that mean? I can't lean on a car like this? I can't. What law is behind that order? Excuse me. I just want to ask you a question. What law are you enforcing right now, law enforcement officer? What law are you enforcing? Why was you touching me? So, what law are you enforcing? Why not? Why not? I'm trying to have a civil conversation. Why not? I don't think he knows. Can you teach him what lawful order means? That means behind your order is a law. Not you're the law, so whatever you say is lawful order. You understand? There has to be a law that you're enforcing behind the lawful order, okay? What's the most important thing about your job, white shirt? Huh? What's the most important thing about your job?
See you in the funny paper, you heard?
To uphold the Constitution, right?
Don't be touching people, nigga.
So if you see me exercising my rights, respect that. Respect the oath that you took.
Unless you touching people, you heard?
That's called the driver's shame. The driver's shame.
Put your seatbelt on.
Fuck out of here. Somebody got to hold them accountable. Somebody. See you later, mama. It's not enough when they beating the shit out of us. They beating the shit out of us. Come on now. Nah, we holding them accountable. Look at that. 2 drives of shame. 2 drives of shame at the same time. You see how we did it?
Why he touching you, man? That shit got me mad.
I don't know, bro.
Why you let them touch you, bro? Yo, move the fuck back.
You know I'm mad calm. I be chilling,
crazy,
bro.
Nigga. Don't touch me, nigga.
I be chilling.
I love you. You gotta let them niggas know they are not the law. Exactly. We they boss. We they boss. They hold the law.
That's right.
They are not the law. They hold the law. Not their feelings.
Probably got the tango. He got the swag. Look at the old school drip.
Because whatever the hell, the DA,
You got the old school drip.
hold the law. They don't. They bend it. They break it. No. Tell your homie, you are not the law.
You talking to the world right now. What you got?
Thanks for hanging out, Emmett. I'm going to end it pretty soon and restart.
They are not the law. They supposed to protect and uphold the law. Alright? So now with all that, what they say, what they say to you, what they do, no, all right. But Miranda, what's her name? Miranda, right? You gotta know. Miranda rights. That's right. Let them kids know. Don't say nothing.
We're educating everyone.
I say, am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Get the feet. Am I under arrest or am I detained? Well, detain something. But we need to know what was. No, but they try to feel you. They try to fake you with that. So you're not under arrest. You're being detained. For being you just being detained, don't
What's
say a
what's the
motherfucking
next
word.
what's the next question?
Don't say a motherfucking
You gotta say for
word.
what crime? What
No,
crime?
you just being detained. You're not arrested.
Yeah, but you gotta detain for a crime. Suspicion
No,
of a
no,
crime.
detain.
Not in the street, Chino. That's why we got bike lanes.
No, you just being detained. You ain't gotta say a motherfucking thing. No. When they say detained, if you arrested, they gotta read you the memorandum.
The memorandum.
If they say you just being detained, you got it. Don't say a motherfucking thing. Yo, listen, you have a good night, my dear. You heard?
You never.
No. I see what y'all doing. I love it.
Bro, you never, ever have to talk to the police. Never.
Never, because they are not the law.
Fifth Amendment, baby.
They supposed to protect the law. I already know. Oh, I'm old school. I'll be 66 next week.
God bless you. Happy early birthday.
I already know.
All right.
Take care, brother.
That was hilarious. The wife's playing. She joined the club. She joined the poker club.
Overseer department, videotaping and refuse to identify themselves.
All right, you guys are done now. So, yeah. For what? You're not asking you to leave the I'm asking you to leave private property now. Get out of the lot. Do you have to leave business here? Yeah. I'm asking you, okay, you look the lobby, but you're not going to the lobby.
This is newly released body cam footage showing police officers in New London, Connecticut, confronting First Amendment auditors in their department parking lot. It ultimately resulted in the police officer being suspended.
Let's go. I'm not asking you. Get off the property. Let's go. Then you can end up downstairs in our lockup. I'm telling you.
Where are your signs?
There are no signs. But
Exactly.
You're being given a
allowed to
lawful
be-
order to
What law?
disperse. What law? Disorderly conduct. You're being given.
Let's go. Come on, here.
Let's
Disorderly conduct.
Let's go.
Come on, disorderly conduct.
Let's go.
You want to call it? Let's do it.
Let's go.
You want to call it? Let's do it.
And we're gonna stand right here with you.
Go ahead.
Okay. I got all night, dude. I got till 7 o'clock in the morning.
Can you start touching me?
Can you? No.
I'm allowed to move.
Okay. So am I.
Okay, just keep touching me.
Maybe we should make a flowchart. First question, is the individual committing a crime? No? Then do nothing. You see a lot of these, but not necessarily a lot of them that result in police officer discipline and policy change. This is one of those rare cases. Take a look and you'll see why.
Hey, can I help you? What are you guys doing? Filming? For what? Yeah, that's fine.
Daniel Kokoska, who as I understand it runs a YouTube channel called The Constitution State, began filming at New London Police Department on August 20th, 2022. They were located in the department parking lot, which is a public location. Thus, they were located in a public place where they were legally allowed to be, filming only things that they could readily observe with their own eyes. And cops hate this. They will argue in court that you have no reasonable expectation of privacy in public, including
No, just wearing something tighter than normal.
your car and so on. But they don't like it when it's reversed.
Any reason you're filming? Don't want to answer any questions? What about you? You want to answer any questions? Or?
They heard this. They stated that those two were overseer department, videotaping and refused to identify themselves.
Sweet commander. That's kind of sweet.
You can get off that car.
Thank you. Thank you for doing it right there.
Shortly afterwards, the auditors encountered Lieutenant Joshua Bergeson. He would end up receiving an 8-day suspension and mandated retraining after this video footage was posted to YouTube.
All right, you guys are done now. So, yeah. For what? I'm asking you to leave the I'm asking you to leave private property now. Get out of the lot. You have to leave business here. Okay, you look the lobby. telling you now.
It doesn't matter.
Let's go. Off the property, please. Let's go. I'm not asking you. Get off the property. Let's go. Then you can end up downstairs in our lockup. Okay. You need to leave now, please. For what? You're not here for police business. I just told you I was going in the lobby. Okay. Then you can go up in the lobby. I can go up in the lobby when I'm ready. No, you can. Okay. You're not going to be out here with private. Where's the officers? Where are your signs? Okay. I'm telling you. Where are your signs? There are no signs. Exactly. You're being given a lawful order to disperse. What law? Disorderly conduct. You're being given. Yes. Let's go. If you want here, disorderly conduct. Let's go. Come on, disorderly conduct. Let's go. You want to call it? Let's do it. Let's go. You want to call it? Let's do it. I'm doing nothing wrong. No. Why you got to come out here and bust balls? Bust balls? You came out here. I was doing nothing wrong. You're out here filming people's cars. I'm allowed to. Okay. Again, what? Do you have anything better to do? Thank you. I'm not going to answer any more questions. I'm going to continue doing what I was doing. Touching me? You're touching me? You're touching me? Off the property. Stop touching me, please. Stop touching me, please. It doesn't. I have been asked to leave. It doesn't matter. You're just asked to leave. Yes, you can. Listen, time out. Yes, you can. No, you can't. You want to come in for police business? Listen, no. It doesn't. I don't even need police business. Okay. Even if I wasn't here for police business, it doesn't matter. You're not going to stand out. This is public property. I can stand out. No. You're being asked to leave. It doesn't matter. I haven't done anything wrong. You need to commit a crime or be suspected of a crime. Like, how are you this high and you don't even know that? And then you're putting your hands on me? What's wrong with you? Asked to leave. You need to go do your homework. Okay, I'm doing my homework. No, you're not. Yes, no, you need to go read the laws. No, I need to commit a crime for you to have me leave public property. This is not private. Giving you a lawful order to leave the property by a police officer. Okay, trespass. That's not. No. You can't trespass me from public property when I haven't broken the law. Okay, come on. Are you here for police business? I just told you I was. Okay. Then what is the police business you're here for? I don't need to tell you. Yes, you do. No, I don't. You're not here for police business. I don't need to tell. All right, I'm not going to answer any more questions, and I'm standing right here until I'm ready to go inside. And we're going to stand right here with you. Go ahead. Okay. I got all night, dude. I got till 7 o'clock in the morning. Can you start touching me? Can you? No. I'm allowed to move. Okay. And so am I. Okay, just keep touching me. Let's go. Dale, take your camera out. Let's go. Excuse me, sir. You really want to do this? I don't care, because I haven't done anything wrong. You're the one making yourself look like a clown. Get off the property. No. You don't need to be on the property. If you had a reason and you could really arrest me, you already would have done it. Saturday, and I don't have to leave me downstairs all week. I really don't. I don't believe that. This is what? You need to be down here. I can be. Yes, I do. I'm not going to tell you, but I can be here. What is your police business? I'm doing what I need to do. Okay. So if you go near a personal car, I'll go near whatever. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. I'm done. No. Because now I can stay here and now I can do that. Because I got better shit to do than no. Because now you're wrong. I can record those cars. I can record any car in this parking lot. If I catch you touching a vehicle or trying to open the door, I want to arrest you. Now it goes to that. Did you see me do that before you touched me and did all that shit? If I catch you doing it, did you see me? I got better shit to do.
Something's going on with Wolvie here. Hang on.
Code 1, code 2. One officer could.
Look at this. 4.
Bootlickers will be bootlickers. They're taught what they're taught. See this, guys? See the sidewalk? See, I'm not going to give them a chance to solicit a trespass. You see, earlier he was complaining about them blocking the people coming into their shift. Now he totally flipped script. We all seen it on a live stream. This is what people do when they're marginalized, and that's when police intimidate groups socially. That's what PIG stand for. Borg, I'll forgive you if you change the ticket that you gave under color of law down there. Why don't you go ahead and plead guilty to all? So for every person you plead guilty to all, so for every person you pulled over, you should have got 2 to 3 tickets yourself. I don't care about it. You guys can stand down there all you want. It don't matter to me no more. The evidence is already gathered. 2 or 3 years from now, it's going to matter.
I'm a forgiving guy, man. I got a heart. I really do. I forgive you, Borg. You're going to change your ways. You're going to try to be a better police officer and uphold your oath, sir. Will you do that? Maybe some people, see, I've said this several times, but you keep ignoring that. You act like what I say has no divinity. You act like, you know, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. And I ain't saying I am. I'm just trying to tell you that you're in error in your mannerisms. Just like I told you a long time ago in October, nicely. Remember when I nicely said that? Remember when I was nice about it? My voice is strenuous anyway. So I'm always loud. I'm even loud in my car. But I'll be damned, I'm going to let somebody solicit a trespass. When? You did good, Corporal. Whether you like it or not, I liked it. See, what I don't like is when people make all these excuses when there's a camera around. It changes everything. It changes the dynamic of how they act, how they walk, how they talk, the way they stand, their posture, when they stand erect, you know. And hell, I got officers, like, for an example, when they know that I'm recording them, they'll stop at all stop signs, use all their blinkers, and the moment my shit goes off, they think it goes off, they're driving like any other fool out there. They're supposed to be the examples. Is this an example, ladies and gentlemen?
If an example is something.
Is this the example? Is this what we want? Hi, Mom. That's how you're supposed to act on a camera. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Mr. Prosecutor, Mr. Greco, Judge Slavin, how you doing? Thanks for honoring your oath, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Brian White. Thanks for investigating. Ex-Chief Bivens, thanks for making a phone call for me. Thanks for watching my live stream, sir. It's all training. That's all this is.
So y'all, why we need to move out of America. Look at this. They're selling lion chops. They're taking exotic animals and cutting them up and putting them in our local grocery stores. Look,
Oh
at
my
Safeway,
God.
they're putting lion meat in the fucking grocery stores. Lion meat.
Oh,
Right on me, too. Damn, man.
Lion
Hey, you
meat.
guys got watching. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 body cams as they commit conspiracy. They don't understand what 241 is, but they will when they're on the other side of the defendant channel. Say hello to the federal judge, every one of you. Show them how nice you are around.
all right. His feed looks like crap. We'll finish watching this.
Saying, but you're out here. You never came out here if you had something better to do.
If you need something, come up in the lobby and deal with it.
I'll be out there when I'm ready.
We're all set.
Loser, you're a fucking loser, dude. You're a loser. You are a loser.
Go find something
I'm wasting time. That's why you're out here wasting time. Bunch of fucking teams. You know, now leave them. After you already touched me, you fucking loser. How many times did you touch me, clown? How many? That's why you're in 2 steps. You can't. I'm hurting your balls right now. What can you do? And I didn't even look at him before. Now I will. Who's above you inside? I need to talk to a supervisor.
Out of curiosity, why? I mean, Saturday night, you guys can't go somewhere, hang out. Like, just decided tonight was the night to film the police department parking lot.
Yeah.
So after this video footage was posted to YouTube, the administration in this police department received emails with links to the videos. An internal investigation was conducted, and this guy Bergeson ended up being cited for violating department policy regarding respect and courtesy, conduct unbecoming of an officer, and use of force reporting. The findings of the internal investigation into the complaints against the other officers involved were found to be unfounded. During his interview as part of the internal investigation, this guy Bergeson admitted calling the auditors in the parking lot effing losers and said it wasn't a thought-out decision, but rather a reaction to the situation. In a statement provided during the investigation, Bergeson also said that he thought he was justified, explaining that a month prior, an individual in the parking lot was looking into vehicles and admitted that he was, quote, looking to steal a police vehicle. There have been numerous acts of violence against police officers at police stations.
He's an idiot for
Subjects have
admitting
attempted
that.
to force entry into buildings and even light occupied police buildings on fire, Ferguson said. So while the recording on the property is not suspicious, I believe in light of recent events and the current climate towards law enforcement, individuals wandering through our police department parking lot would be deemed suspicious. That's what Ferguson said. That was his statement. Remember that freedom is scary. The issue is not whether police officers were scared because many people don't like them. They don't get special fear privileges that trump constitutional rights. The fact that these auditors were located on public property and were lawfully entitled to video whatever they wanted to video, just as the police are entitled to do. Even if there have been past incidents of people committing crimes in police parking lots, that cannot reduce the constitutional rights of these individuals. Reasonable suspicion is the required burden for the police to meet if
Yeah, I know.
to detain an individual against
The
their
person
will.
actually said they
And
were
it
going to
must be
steal a car.
particular. That's the key
That
word.
sounds like more of a
To
mental health issue than
cannot
anything.
be gore to
And
some
a security
class of
issue.
people or conduct. Here, the body
Then
cam
again, most of these
video
shootings lately are
shows
all
that
mental health
no
issues.
reasonable suspicion existed. The officer acknowledged as much. Therefore, the officer was limited to just engaging in a consensual conversation with these auditors,
Freeman.
which does not include asking them to leave or
New
forcibly
Freeman video.
IDing them or even restricting them.
I'm not willing to go to jail for it, but I am willing to shoot back.
It's a growing trend across the U.S. This house making it illegal to feed people in need without government permission.
Why over here are? Well, you know, we started this trend of protesting and doing things that are morally right, armed, and we have a lot less trouble with the police. They tend to open up and have conversations and use dialogue and things like that instead of just brute force whenever you're armed.
Or are we doing something wrong here today?
Well, it has been illegal in Dallas to feed the homeless or people over 75 people now that they've changed the law after a $250,000 7-year lawsuit. Some churches suing the city. After they won, they changed a few of the rules, but they still demand that you ask them for permission and tell them you're going to be feeding people. And
So what you're
whatever.
telling me is we have about 60 volunteers here who are all now technically criminals because they're out here helping people without permission slips.
Well, you know, it's all about participating in civil disobedience. Well, the reason that when we came out here 5 years ago and what we've repeated every
for
year,
sure.
that we're all heavily armed is, no, I'm not willing to go to jail for it, but I am willing to shoot back.
It's a growing
Our pug toggle. We had to have them put down while you were absent from us. And we're going to pick up a new one Saturday in Indiana. Oh, shit. I'll show you a picture of them. We just got a new 3D-ish type picture. There he is. It's our newest. Picking up on Saturday. Cutie, huh?
Trend across the U.S. Different municipalities making it illegal to feed people in need without government permission. So a charitable organization in Houston, Texas called Food Not Bombs has been feeding those in need for over a decade, but just this month, the mayor of Houston ordered the police to start enforcing a law that's actually been on the books for over a decade. I think it might be as old as 2012. And the ordinance says that one cannot feed more than 5 people at one time in the city. And if you are going to feed more than 5 people at one time, you have to get government permission, and there's a specific location. There's only one location in the city of Houston where they say you're allowed to feed the homeless. Since the ordinance has been enforced starting on February 28th, 2023, at least 16 citations that we know of have been given to people for feeding those in need without government permission. One of those citations was caught live when YouTubers News Now Ninja and Good Citizen News went out with a stack of pizzas and water bottles to feed the hungry. They were approached by Houston police officers who claimed that they have absolutely no control over themselves and their own actions, and that they're only capable of doing what they've been programmed to do, which is give citations to people for feeding the hungry.
Are we gonna get a citation for this today, guys? Heck yeah, I'm feeding people. Okay, well, I had a couple of officers say that they weren't gonna mess with us because we're not a corporation. We're just individuals that are giving out of the kindness of our heart, exercising our freedom of religion.
We have no issue with the hungry or the homeless or whoever you want.
Cool.
Okay. The only thing we ask you to do is do it but here's the reason.
Because there's porta potties and everything else. I understand, but there's a lot of homeless over here.
Do you want to hear the reason?
No, I'd rather just go ahead and give you my ticket and get my. I will gladly get my ID for this one. Yeah. And I'm gonna go put this on the sidewalk, and I'm gonna go throw those boxes away while you write me up, okay?
Just following orders. Gotta love that.
Because you're following orders. You don't have to follow orders.
I'm not going to argue my job with you.
It's your job. You took an oath to the
Here's the
Constitution.
thing. You can do it your way. At this point, okay? At this point, this is what you think.
Okay. And I have to come get my ticket so I can fight it. I want to see if a jury of my peers is going to find me guilty for feeding people.
Yep.
No, I'm good.
Two. Just so they're watching. We got 3, 4. We got 5. Who's gonna be number 6?
Give him your ID. You did it in front of him.
Number 6. Who wants to
Yeah, there's a law.
There you go. What's ID?
Awesome.
I don't know.
we're being excited to conduct an increase.
Governments making it illegal to feed the homeless has become a growing trend across the entire US. So different organizations in different locations are trying different strategies to fight back. One of my personal favorites, though, is in Dallas, Texas, at an event that's done once a year called Feed the Need by an organization called Don't Comply. Dallas made a similar ordinance
Distance roll.
that Houston made, saying that you can't feed a certain number of people at the same time without getting a permit. So a handful of guys who are actually, truly ready and willing to do anything necessary to defend their liberty decided to start open carrying while feeding the homeless. The Dallas police have not showed up to disturb them or give them citations in over
Yeah, because look at them armed. Love Patrick.
Here and they're here because they know every year we come and bring sleeping bags and tents and a bunch of food and stuff. So it's not where a lot of them bring afraid anymore. They're like, oh, the gun guys are here. They got a bunch of good stuff every year.
I'm down. I'd really like. I'll take that as a vacation. I mean, I don't know if I could carry in Texas.
Well, you know, we started this trend of protesting and doing things that are morally right, armed, and we have a lot less trouble with the police. They tend to open up and have conversations and use dialogue and things like that instead of just brute force whenever you're armed.
Well, are we doing something wrong here today?
Well, it has been illegal in Dallas to feed the homeless or people over 75 people now that they've changed the law after a $250,000 7-year lawsuit. Some churches suing the city. After they won, they changed a few of the rules, but they still demand that you ask them for permission and tell them you're going to be feeding people. And
So what you're
whatever.
telling me is we have about 60 volunteers here who are all now technically criminals because they're out here helping people without permission slips.
Well, you know, it's all about participating in civil disobedience.
I'm here because it's my understanding that I need to be here. That
The feds may argue with you on that,
sad
Anna.
as it is to say, I understand that in this city, certain institutions need to be discouraged from enforcing unjust laws, inhumane laws. So I'm here doing what I think is some good.
We are feeding the homeless and giving back to our community illegally.
Helping the needy.
Breaking the law.
Yes. We have something called inalienable rights, and they can't take those rights away from us. So their laws are illegal.
Breaking the law to help out the community.
We are feeding the homeless and giving them clothes. Breaking the law.
Breaking the law.
Breaking the law.
We're volunteering our free time and helping people not be so cold this year.
Illegally though, right?
Yes, we are.
It's illegal to feed the homeless.
Doesn't mean it's wrong.
Breaking the law.
Doesn't mean it's wrong.
Well, there's a reason that when we came out here 5 years ago and what we've repeated every year, that we're all heavily armed is, no, I'm not willing to go to jail for it, but I am willing to shoot back.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I know NCAP. That's how I found out about it, was through NCAP. To feed the need.
I'm not willing to go to jail for it, but I am willing to shoot back.
I love that shit. I don't know if I have anything else.
See, he's so scared. Speech really messes with you, ladies and gentlemen. It really does. Now, for you socialist ass motherfuckers that want to defund them, now with you. you can go head on. Do not subscribe to this channel if you're trying to defund the police. See, that's what they're trying to get. They're trying to criminalize my MFers. See, as long as I don't use that in a threatening manner, it's overbroad, according to Houston Hill. Look at all that case law that's attached to that. It's tons of it. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going. You ladies dismissed. Have a good day.
All right.
Bye. Be safe out there. Honor your oath. See, Borg has to because he's got a case against him. He has to record me. Bye.
It's Wolverine.
18 months from now, I want you guys to look up the case law. Look it up. Vote liquor. Vote liquor.
Oh, Wolvie.
Vote liquor.
All right.
Come on, show us how much you love the police. Vote liquors. I love them too. I love a police officer saved my life. Straight up. But they're allowed to exploit their supremacy. See that? Only they can block a sidewalk, block an approach. Only they can do that.
Yeah, I think you might have misheard him.
Bootlickers. Deep felt the whole boot, guys. Hey, the guy that told on himself, Taylor will be able to use what he said against him. Ain't that a bitch? Hey, I'm going to turn in the part where your brother admitted. I'm going to turn it in where he admitted that he was text driving to the black lady. Hey, will you think you'll love him then when they take his license and one of them grabs their neck and says, ouch? 10 hours from now.
All right. Yeah, he does. His heart's in the right place, but I mean that electric shock that blasted his arm off of him and scarred up his back pretty good. Pretty sure had some effect with his head as well. He's good-hearted though, for the most part, from what I hear. I don't think I've met him personally. I've met MCC and freaking media, but I don't think I've met him. He's invited me out a few times, but I don't know. I think cops are antagonistic enough as it is, rather than to actually add to it. And I think it would help me in front of the black dress if I simply spoke to them like this and told them what stupid pigs they are, rather than screaming. I mean, I'm sure that's all part of his issue. So I'm gonna kill this. I got some more phone calls to make, and then I'm gonna go grab something to eat before I have to go do the late shift. Where's my song?
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future. We all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
What you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.